last year we went from wild cards to world champs.
This year, we want to do it again.
Never count out the Baltimore Ravens.
All year, the Ravens defense has made a lot of noise. Now here is war.
Last year was last year.
It's time to put our playoff woes behind us.
Now the Ravens are coming to our house.
But I can assure you, we will be sharp.
So good to have you with us, and we are here to set the stage for the final wild card game of the weekend. The defending Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens against the Miami Dolphins. Miami in the postseason for the 5th straight season, the NFL's longest active streak, and the winner will advance to play Pittsburgh next Sunday. Hello, my friends. I'm Jim Nantz, and glad to have you with us on this special wild card edition of the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. And joining me to sort out the wild card picture are a pair of aces and a joker.
Oh,
no name.
I
take Randy Cross and Jerry Glanville. Who's who here, Jerry?
Yes, I don't know.
That's too easy.
All right, listen, right now it's time to go on site, presented by Miller Lite, and let's go down to Miami, where our CBS Sports colleagues Greg Gumbel and Phil Simms are standing by with the latest. Greg?
All right, Jim, welcome to Pro Player Stadium, everyone, where already there has been a big development before the kickoff of this game between the Ravens and the Miami Dolphins, and that is that the Dolphins today will be without their fine rookie wide receiver, Chris Chambers. He will not play because of a severely sprained ankle, and that's a big loss.
Well, Greg, it's huge for the Miami Dolphins offense. Chris Chambers is a difference maker. He's a guy, even when he's covered, Jay Fiedler throws it up in the air, he comes down with that big reception about 2 times a game. And I noticed something really unique at practice the other day. The Dolphins on the field for 2 hours. Chris Chambers on one knee on the sideline. During that practice, about 10 different players walked up to him. They put their hands on his shoulder. They rubbed his head, and they said, "What do you think, Chris? You're going to be okay?" Because those players know if he's out there, our chances of winning are much greater.
And that's a big weapon to lose against these Baltimore Ravens. They were the last team into the postseason on the last day of the regular season, and yet they are as cocky and confident as they were a year ago.
Well, I mean this as a compliment. The Baltimore Ravens are the most arrogant football team I've ever been around. They think everything that we saw during the season, wipe it clean, we're going to turn into a different team because the playoffs have started.
Well, the Miami Dolphins were a commanding 7-1 here at home during the regular season. The question is, can they handle these Baltimore Ravens here today, Jim?
That is the question. Greg and Phil, thank you very much. Look forward to your call here in about a half hour on CBS. And let's break it down even a little bit more here. Mike, what about the Ravens? How are they going into the playoffs?
I agree with Jerry. The one thing they have is toughness. They are a tough team. They believe strongly in what they do on defense. But this defensive football team is not as good as the one was a year ago. And the offense isn't either. So they got a lot of work ahead of them. They had 6 plays inside the 5-yard line last week against a weak Minnesota defense. You could not put the ball in the end zone. And that's not very good.
It's a trouble. It's a thing that, Baltimore has had a problem with that in those areas, and they're facing a defense in Miami. It's got a middle linebacker in Zach Thomas who's hurt, torn rotator cuff in his shoulder, bone bruise, and his C7 in his neck. Got an injection. I talked to him earlier. He said, "Look, it's just going to happen for me. I'm going to be out there. Right. They're going to run right at me. Sam Gash is going to lead block on me." Watch one matchup out there today, though. Shannon Sharp going against Greenwood, the rookie Sam linebacker. A lot of man matchups, Jerry, and it's going to be rough.
But I want to talk about everybody went to sleep last night. Maybe you had a good night's sleep. There's 2 people that didn't sleep last night. One was Mike Ditka. Mike Ditka. And the other one is the punter for the Ravens, Kyle Richardson. He's getting bad snaps. He's a 3-step kicker. And they do not have good punt protection up front. They can't solve what you call a 6 load with a 5-man coming back. Kind of confusing, but it's going to break clean, going to block a punt.
Yeah, you smell punt block, don't you?
Punt block.
I've been saying that all week. Guys, in the AFC playoffs, the winner of this game, Baltimore and Miami, will be at Pittsburgh next Sunday. And we do know that Oakland, off the win last night, eliminating the Jets against New England in Foxborough next Saturday night.
And here, you got a blitz here. I was going to have a blitz if I was calling, but you can't blitz up inside with a back in the backfield. The blitz should have come off the corner so they couldn't run a toss sweep either way. They did the right thing by blitzing, but the wrong design. That was the ball game.
All right, guys, and the Green Bay Packers, it's final now with a big fourth quarter performance, big second half. Their offense stalled in the first half, Randy, to go on to beat the 49ers by 10 at Lambeau.
Almost 280 yards offense in that second half there. Brett Favre hitting Bubba Franks. He's done that all year long. Mike Sherman decides to go for the two-point conversion, which fails. Looked like that might come back to bite him. But on 3rd and 8, Jeff Garcia is going to go back, and he is going to, he's going to hit Ty Street, and then a two-point conversion also to Ty Street. Jim Moore is watching his son, Jim Moore, the defensive coordinator of the Niners, do his thing. Jeff Garcia, they're driving down the field. It's tied 15. Mike McKenzie tips that ball up into the air. And Tyrone Williams gets it. Then Brett Favre, Amon Green, power football, good special teams, good Brett Favre. That's the way Green Bay wins.
The McKenzie tip was really the play of the game. And I'll tell you, Sherman got away with a boneheaded call going for that, too. That was crazy. Could have had a 2-possession deficit on the 49ers, but they still somehow survive and win at 25-15. Here's how they
won't do that next week.
Nope. Next week, Green Bay at St. Louis, and Mike, Philadelphia and Chicago.
Well, I tell you, Philadelphia did just about everything they did. Again, it looked like against a demoralized Bucs football team. I don't know if they were going out to save my job. I wouldn't hire those guys, believe me. that was pretty bad. That was a pretty bad exhibition. But you got a great play there. They go to Deuce Staley right before the half, and this sealed it. Once they got 20 points, there's no way the Bucs offense is going to score 20 points. They haven't scored a touchdown in 3 playoff games. Right?
Hey, Philadelphia and Chicago bring back memories of the Fog Bowl.
That's amazing. I couldn't even see Buddy Ryan on the other side of the field. We can't see him, boy.
We can't see you. What do you mean, Buddy Ryan?
They said that was your best coaching job. We couldn't see the team.
I had the orange hair then. I was working hard.
For a complete
orange hair
of the Baltimore-Miami matchup, go to cbs.sportsline.com. America Online users, enter the keyword CBS Sportsline. We are underway on this AFC wildcard edition of the NFL Today, and coming up next, the Bucs ship has been sunk yet again. So what's next for head coach Tony Dungy? We're going to talk live with Tampa Bay's Rondé Barber next.
The Ravens struggle to make it to the playoffs. Some people say they're going to the Super Bowl. There's only one reason why. Sugar Ray Lewis.
The NFL Today is presented by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36.
Terry Allen of the Ravens, Lamar Smith of the Dolphins, both coming off big games the final week of the regular season. Allen sliced up the Vikings 133 yards Monday night, getting Baltimore into the playoffs. Smith, meanwhile, shredded Buffalo last Sunday, 158 and a touch. Miami earning the home game today. Deion Sanders joins us now here on the NFL Today, and the Eagles eliminated the Bucs in yesterday's wild card action, ramping up speculation that Tampa Bay head coach Tony Dungy is about to lose his job, perhaps to Bill Parcells. And joining us now from his home in Tampa, Pro Bowl defensive back Rondé Barber of the Bucs. And Rondé, thanks for joining us. Congratulations. Yesterday named a starter in the Pro Bowl, but also yesterday your Bucs, season on the line, perhaps the coach's job on the line, and another bad playoff performance by the Bucs. What happened here?
It certainly wasn't our best performance, and the disappointing thing is that we went into this game feeling we were pretty prepared. I mean, we had essentially, I guess, 14 days to prepare for these guys. So we were playing them twice, and for 2 weeks we practiced what we were going to do with them in the playoff game, and we didn't come out and execute. We are definitely disappointed as a defensive unit. Specifically, we didn't play up to our expectations. If we had to win that game 10-9, we expected to win it 10-9. We just didn't get it done.
Is it over for Coach Dungy? I know he met with the players a little more than an hour ago. What did he say? Do you think he's gone?
I don't think he's gone. He came to us in a pretty encouraging type of attitude. He set the tone for what our offseason was going to be, and really just kind of said to us that things will take care of themselves, and I think we're going to leave it at that. But you ask yourselves the question, if you allow me to quote Teddy Roosevelt, the credit and in our case the blame belongs to those guys who were out on the field, the men who were out on the field who were in the arena, and for us, we're not playing it as well as we can week in and week out.
Yep.
We're consistently inconsistent when playoff time comes around, and we can't get it done when we have to.
And Rondé, speaking of that blame, Keyshawn Johnson's been pretty outspoken this season about Warren Sapp always talking. And after the game with all the speculation, I want you to listen to what Keyshawn had to say.
the coach here next year, I know one thing. He better get some people in here who gonna play for him and not just run their mouth. I know that much. And if he's not, then wherever he goes, he better get some people in there. Let's go. Because the guy that they talking about coming in, he ain't gonna put up with it, period. He ain't gonna put up with it. And if that's the truth, if he's coming here, he ain't gonna put up with it.
He says he ain't going to put up with all that talking if Parcells is there. What do you think of those comments by Keyshawn?
You know what, Keyshawn's very, everybody knows how outspoken he is. And tell you the truth, this year he's been a pretty calming influence in the locker room. He hasn't brought up much controversy. And I think he was really frustrated after the game, much like everybody else. I think after the game, a lot of reporters were asking a lot of guys questions, and everybody was pretty mum with them. And they went to Keyshawn, and he had some strong words. He had some strong opinions. And I talked about it before. I think last year we went up to Philadelphia and didn't play like we had a sense of urgency, like we cared about winning. And I think he felt the same way yesterday. And for whatever reason, he threw a lot of that blame on Warren. But when you get guys on your team, Pro Bowl guys, that you expect to dominate in games and they don't really put up those type of numbers when they need to, then yeah, he's opened himself to criticism.
Rondé, Deion Sanders talking. It sounds like Keyshawn was really shooting a lot of darts at Warren Sapp, and he's just afraid to call his name. Tony Dungy, by the way, took this franchise from the guttermost to the uttermost. Although he didn't win a playoff game, you got to understand this team let you shop around out there. They experienced no loyalty to you as well as no loyalty to Tony Dungy. Do you think this franchise has a sense of loyalty to anyone?
I think they do. If you look at our free agent record, if you want to start there, we've retained all our big name free agents in a time when most of them should leave and get money elsewhere. I mean, the market dictates that sometimes, but for the most part, we have been loyal. And I think the press around here, specifically some guys, forget what we've done. You said he's brought us from nothing and made us, in the cusp of a playoff team, Super Bowl runs every year. They forget that. Yep. They forget how loyal. And me personally, I'm insanely loyal to Coach Dungy and to this organization. I think a lot more people need to be that way.
All right, Rondé, thanks for being with us. Rondé Barber, who says he believes Tony Dungy will be back. Up next, Deion Sanders with the man Baltimore is counting on to make dreams of a Super Bowl repeat come true.
He's been called many things by many people, but I like to call Ray Lewis the best player in the NFL. I said that.
At times.
Awful.
At times.
Confidence shot.
Shot is an understatement.
Is that true?
Ray Lewis is all-pro, Super Bowl MVP, and the captain of my all-best-dressed team. But I'll say flat out he's the best player in the NFL. I spent some quality time at his crib this week talking about where he's been, where he's headed, and most important of all, ladies, the woman who drives him to be the absolute best.
Put this one on now. See, that's how it's gonna sound in Miami.
Right.
I'm talking about.
Tell you what, come on over here, man. I don't feel like beating you because you got a big game. I don't want to get you down and everything. Let's go to dance, man. Come on, you got to show me the dance, man.
I'm gonna pick up some grass. Just familiarize myself with it. Feel comfortable.
Well,
I'm home.
Wow.
And as soon as I do that, I know my crowd is watching. I know my mama somewhere, and that's when I go into it.
But if we want to be the best at what we're trying to get done, we got to shut this team out.
Everybody don't have the same type of passion, man. But you get on that field and you turn into a different beast. Explain.
That's Mother's Day. I was raised by mama. She made a way out of no way. I saw days of mama come in and lay on the bed and was too tired to pull her shoes off. So her oldest child did it for her. And I told her something at 10 years old one time. 9. I said, Mama, I grabbed on the coattail. I said, one of these days you'll never have to work again. She's my soulmate. She's everything that I need, and she keeps me going.
Mama, can you tell me one thing about your baby that you would like for everyone to know?
That on the field, Ray is that beast. But to get to know Ray as Ray, he's very humble and gentle. And I tell him all the time, God can use him.
January to January. Now we're back to another January.
One was at a low point, and then the world saw me go to my highest of points. It's a roller coaster ride. And that's what you look for in life, hopefully.
I say you're the best linebacker in the game, but they comparing these other young boys up with you, the Urlachers.
Listen to me. I've been doing this a long time. Now, don't get me wrong. Those guys have great potential to be whatever they want to be if they keep their heads right. But my foundation is way beyond that.
So you feel good going into the playoffs?
Great.
We was talking earlier, you feel like you get back to New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. If we don't get back to New Orleans, it's because of us. Nobody else.
Not only because of you guys, maybe because of Elvis Grbac.
Do you put all of that on one man?
No, but it sure looks a lot like him. Have you talked to Elvis this year?
Yeah. I asked him one question. Where you trying to go? He said a Super Bowl. I said, jump on our backs. I said, you ain't got to win it. Just don't lose it. We know what it's gonna take to get back to the Super Bowl. And I asked my teammates to do one thing. If they did nothing else, find somebody else to play for if you don't have the passion to get us back to New Orleans.
If, and that's a big if Baltimore does make it to Super Bowl 36, they'll get there on the broad shoulders of Sugar Ray Lewis. You got to know him as a friend. They call him Sugar Ray Lewis.
How about though? I know what he's trying to say, but Mike, when you tell your quarterback just don't lose it, man, you're not helping his confidence.
No, it's not helping his confidence at all. But I'll tell you one thing, Ray. You better make it this year because you're going to lose at least 6 players off of that defense. Next year, it's not going to be the same football team. 21 mil over the salary cap. Goodbye. You better do it now or never.
Again, I talked to Elvis Grbac yesterday afternoon, and for all the ripping and whatnot, Elvis is very, very confident. And when Baltimore wins this game today, it's going to be because of passes that Elvis Grbac completes to his own teammates, and not because he made a mistake or something like that. It's going to be the factor.
Well, let's get off of Elvis and go to the quarterback on the other side. Let's go to Jay Fiedler. Jay Fiedler, against this defense, forget the screens. Jay likes to throw 6 to 8 screens a ball game. Well, when you throw it against the Ravens defense, they attack and they converge. Don't throw a screen today. You're not going to gain any yardage.
You think Fiedler's running for a touchdown today?
He's going to run for a touchdown to win it.
We're going to
He's going to run to save his life.
When we come back in a moment.
I love the way you've decorated in here.
Sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Rolling Rock Beer, grab a rock. And by IBM, e-business is the game. Play it to win.
No question who the leader of the Ravens is, and game time approaching in Miami. Ravens and Dolphins, as we welcome you back to the NFL today. Time for IBM I Bet You Didn't Know, but first our congratulations to Mike Ditka, who finished a perfect 5-0 last week and won the regular season title. Mike, I know you have that little Lombardi trophy at home. Push that aside, though, because I know this is the most important one.
This is the biggest trophy. I want to thank my high school teachers, my college coaches.
You need to thank these two guys. You need to thank those two guys.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, Mike was correct 67% of the time this season, but let's pick it. Dion, you've got the first pick here.
I like Baltimore. The reason I like Baltimore because Chris Chambers is out. I talked to Rodney Gatson today. He said, hey, we got to find somebody to pick up the slack, but I don't think they're going to be effective against that Baltimore Raven defense led by Sugar Ray Lewis.
It's going to be low scoring, but Baltimore's going to score a little less than Miami.
I like Baltimore in this game because, like you said, they don't have the down the field with Chris Chambers, and I think the running game of Baltimore will be a difference with Brookins.
I like Miami because of their offensive guards. Look for Irwin and Perry to do the pulling. But my new favorite, Dion Dyer, the fullback, will go after and knock those lines.
Come on, aim on one Dion around here.
Throwing you out.
Wait, don't mess with the trophy, boy.
Throw it out the fifth Avenue. Throw it in there.
Don't stop. Keep going.
Just throw it.
Jerry Glanville. It's the only way he's going to win a trophy.
That'd be one.
Coming up is the AFC wildcard game, Baltimore-Miami.
Hi, darling.
We'll
How
see
are
you back here at halftime. Enjoy it all right here on CBS.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The Baltimore Ravens Miami Dolphins. Battle-tested football teams. Hungry, intense, both seeking the game's ultimate glory. The Ravens found football's promised land last season, riding a tidal wave of emotion to a Super Bowl title.
And the Ravens are the champions of the world.
This season, Brian Billick's team has a repeat in its sights as Ray Lewis and the defense have again led the way.
Come on, come on. Unbelievable.
Their quest for the Lombardi Trophy begins today against Dave Wannstedt's Miami Dolphins. A team built on power and speed and an insatiable will to win.
Run for the touchdown! Touchdown, Miami!
The object is simple: win and advance. The AFC wildcard game is next. This is the one that wraps up Wild Card Weekend. One more team to advance to divisional playoff action next weekend. The Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pro Player Stadium. Along with Phil Simms, I'm Greg Gumbel. Both these teams, both coaches have been talking about matchups all week long, so let's do just that. Both quarterbacks out there today are going to be staring across the way at all pro linebackers. We start with Elvis Gerbach of the Ravens staring down Zach Thomas.
Yeah, I'm not jealous of either one of these quarterbacks today. Elvis Gerbach, under pressure from the fans, the media, even his own teammates, and especially opposing defenses, has had to run more than he would like. He would like to throw the football inside today. That means he's going against Zach Thomas. He knows that, and he knows when the Baltimore Ravens run the football, they are going to run it right up the middle. That means Zach Thomas on defense has to stop it.
The task for Jay Fiedler of the Dolphins, no less daunting. He's looking across at maybe the best linebacker in all of football in Ray Lewis.
Oh, I know, and Jay Fiedler knows what he's up against in this Baltimore Ravens defense. Jay Fiedler, healthy this year, moves very well. The best thing he does, throw the football on a run. That will come in handy when you're playing the Baltimore Ravens. Ray Lewis, the emotional leader, the physical leader of the Baltimore Ravens defense, and he is a tackling machine.
The Baltimore Ravens were 4-4 on the road this season. The Miami Dolphins, an impressive 7-1 at home. The winner here moves on to meet the Pittsburgh Steelers next Sunday. The opening kickoff from Miami coming right up. Here at Pro Player Stadium, it is an overcast day, temperature in the mid-70s, and the forecast is for partly sunny skies as we progress on into the evening. Brian Billick, now in his third season as the head coach of the Ravens, and a perfect 4-0 in the postseason. On the other side of the field, Dave Wannstedt, lots of criticism directed his way, and all he's done is post 22 victories in 2 seasons here in Miami.
Well, we have found out in this National Football League, Greg, winning is just not enough for these coaches anymore. You got to win big, you got to do it all, and even then your job's in jeopardy. But Dave Wannstedt has done a wonderful job down here in Miami in his first 2 years.
The Baltimore Ravens have won the toss. They will receive. Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms. Patrolling the sidelines today are Armin Katayan and Bonnie Bernstein. We will check in with them shortly. That is Olindo Mare set to kick it away for the Miami Dolphins, and we're underway. This is Jermaine Lewis from the 10. And comes up just short, loose football. The Dolphins have recovered. These coaches in the last 2 days have talked about the importance of turnovers in this game, and Miami gets one right off the bat.
They're always important when you're talking about two teams that are going to have trouble scoring. Jermaine Lewis, he was the key as far as the Miami Dolphins were looking at. We got to stop him, and Tommy Hendricks comes up with the recovery that time. But boy, how many times did we hear it from Brian Billick He thought Jermaine Lewis could be the difference. Dave Wanstead said, no matter what, we got to make sure we stop him on the return game.
Jay Fiedler and the Dolphins get to start at the Baltimore 24. Play fake. Fiedler still has it. Looking. And runs out of bounds. May have picked up a yard on the play. Run out by Jamie Sharper on the play. Jay Fiedler, after a 1-yard gain, almost 61% of his passes completed. 20 touchdowns, 19 interceptions.
Well, Jay Fiedler, he admitted to us on Friday, I've been more patient, a better quarterback here in the last 6 to 8 games of the season. And Greg, the big thing to me is Jay Fiedler stayed healthy this year. Last year, so many injuries. He toughed it out. This year, he can just go out and play physical and not worry about some of those injuries.
Lamar Smith gets to the outside. Comes up short of the 20-yard line. Ray Lewis, number 52, leading the charge.
Well, you look at the Miami offensive line. It has struggled to get a running game going so far this year.
In the backfield with Lamar Smith is Deion Dyer in place of the injured Rob Conrad. Gadsden and McKnight wide receivers. Hunter Goodwin is the tight end. And to reiterate, the Dolphins are without the services, as you look at Chan Gailey, the offensive coordinator of the Dolphins, without the services of the fine rookie Chris Chambers today.
And Oronde Gadsden, the other wide receiver, number 86. Hamstring really bothered him during the warm-up. See if it becomes a problem.
On 3rd and 8. Fiedler, quarterback draw straight up the middle to the 15 and comes up short of a first down by about a yard. Lewis and Corey Harris closed after the 7-yard gain, and on 4th and 1, the field goal unit comes onto the field.
Wow, Jay Fiedler, when you're running against this Baltimore Ravens defense, you must be careful. He took it up in there. Yeah, you want to get the first down, but don't get knocked out and miss the whole playoff game. And he does show courage when he runs the football. And you can see when you do run as a quarterback, the Ravens close fast.
Olindo Mare, 90.5%, the best field goal percentage in the NFL this season. This one from 33 yards out. It is away and it is good. So Jay Fiedler comes up short of the first down, but the Dolphins turn the turnover into 3 points and they lead it 3-0. Those 36 turnovers were the 7th most in the NFL. As the Dolphins kick it away, Jermaine Lewis, this time from the 7-yard line. And is nailed at about the 13. David Bowens, number 96, the third-year man out of Western Illinois, made the hit, and onto the field now for his first series of the day is Elvis Gerbach.
Well, Elvis Gerbach, of course, replacing Trent Dilfer, the Super Bowl quarterback of last year. And Greg, we talked to him last night, and I said, well, Elvis, you knew they were going to talk about the quarterback this year. Did you think it would be as much as it has been? And he goes, no, I got to admit, it's been even more than I thought.
Line of scrimmage, the Baltimore 14. This is Terry Allen, and Allen across the 15 to about the 17-yard line.
Well, when you look at the Baltimore Ravens offensive line, it's big, it's pretty good at running straight ahead. Pass protection is just average.
Terry Allen carried the ball alongside him, the battering ram, Sam Gash, Ismail Travis Taylor, the wide receivers, and Shannon Sharp, the Pro Bowl tight end for the 8th time, number 82. There is the offensive coordinator, Matt Cavanaugh. A pickup of 3 on that play. It's 2nd and 7. Femi Ayanbadejo is into the game, and straight ahead and across the 20 to about the 22 or 23-yard line is Ayanbadejo. The Miami defense up front: Mixon, Bowens, Jermaine Haley, Jason Taylor.
Linebackers for the Dolphins, you want to watch Zach Thomas going against Sam Gash today, because the Ravens are going to run it right up the middle.
Surtain and Pro Bowler Sam Madison on the corners. Brock Marion, Brian Walker are the safeties. There's Jim Bates, the defensive coordinator, as he and the Dolphins look at a 3rd and 1. It'll be Terry Allen. And Allen is hit at the 22, maybe the 23-yard line by Moreland Greenwood. No gain on the play, and the punting unit takes the field.
Well, that's just what Brian Billick did not want to see. But this time it's just a defensive line. Jermaine Haley inside takes on a lineman, the fullback, and still makes the tackle for no gain.
Neither team registering a first down. And here is Kyle Richardson, the kick. And he has had his problems kicking the football. Dale Hellestrae has come on out of retirement to be the long snapper for the Ravens. 17 seasons in the NFL. That snap is good, and Richardson gets it away. High floating kick. Jeff Ogden all the way back to his 25. And across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. 51-yard punt and a 10-yard return. We have 10:27 to play in the first.
By Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. IBM, e-business is the game. Play it to win. And by Cadillac, the fusion of design and technology.
Just under 10.5 to play here in the first quarter. The Dolphins with a 3-0 lead, and they have the ball at their own 35-yard line. 5 wide receivers as Miami spreads the field on Baltimore, and Fiedler from the shotgun. To the near side, complete, and almost intercepted out of bounds. Lamar Smith with the reception. The Baltimore defensive front, Burnett, Adams, Siragusa, Adalius Thomas.
As you look at the Baltimore linebackers, can you find a way to get an offensive lineman up the field to block Ray Lewis?
And a fine secondary with Starks and McAllister on the corners. Woodson and Corey Harris are the safeties. There's a defensive coordinator, Marvin Lewis, Lamar Smith, and Deion Dyer in the backfield. This is Smith. And Smith out to the 44, just shy of a first down. Bonnie Bernstein is patrolling the Miami sideline. Bonnie.
Hi, Greg. Well, Dave Wanstead might have Shannon Sharp to thank for his motivational speech this week. Sharp saying in the papers, we will run the ball. I don't care if I have to tape Brian Billick and Matt Cavanaugh's mouth shut and call the plays myself. Wanstead went back and said, the Ravens' philosophy is offense, don't mess it up. Defense will win this. He said, if you have that philosophy, we don't have a chance. Offense, I expect you to score, and we'll win this thing as a team.
All right, Bonnie, Ray Lucas in on third and short yardage for the Dolphins. He still has the football. On the roll, cuts it back across midfield, still on his feet, and has a first down for Miami. Corey Harris finally tripped him up, but that is the running game that Ray Lucas brings.
Well, Ray Lucas, he's like a linebacker, really, Greg. I saw him before the game. He's so pumped up. He goes, if I get in there, I know how to work against this Baltimore defense. And that's what he did that time. Baltimore not fooled. Ray Lucas, just his running ability, makes the first down.
Saw him slip a little bit. Armin Katan telling us earlier that the field is pretty awful. Rained a little bit this morning here in the Miami area.
That's a good description.
Lamar Smith. And Smith getting nothing on that handoff.
You know, I want to go back to what Bonnie said, you know, when you talk about Shannon Sharp, and it was a lot of things he said was motivation for the Dolphins. So that'll make the 17th straight game this year that Shannon Sharp has been bulletin board material
for someone.
Oh, I tell you, some of the comments, you have to read them twice and go, did he really say that?
Is it true most of the players around the league have subscriptions to the Baltimore Sun?
Oh, man.
2nd and 10. Once again, Smith the lone back. Fiedler with time over the middle, incomplete. His intended receiver fell down. And Ray Lewis almost had a little gift interception.
Well, he did. When you talk about this Miami offense, they really feel confident about their game plan going against this defense. Ray Lewis, you talk about the tackling always when you hear people describe him, but he is really, really good in the passing game. Watching the quarterback, going to the right spots, and making those plays.
Smith and Travis Minor now in the backfield as Fiedler works a 3rd and 10 out of the shotgun. Fiedler has time, throws incomplete. That pass intended for Dedrick Ward.
Well, this Baltimore Ravens defense, they're going to give the Dolphins a lot of looks, especially on third down. They're going to have people spying on Jay Fiedler, giving different coverages, and why they think they've gotten better and they can win this game, of course, like every game, they're getting a better pass rush than they did most of the season, and mostly because of Peter Boulware.
Matt Turk will kick it away for Miami.
Beautiful.
Jermaine Lewis going to let it bounce. And are they able to keep it out of the end zone? There's a penalty marker down inside the 5-yard line. Terry Cousin batted it back. Scott McGarrahan downed it.
Let's watch and see Terry Cousins. He gets rid of the football before his feet touch the end zone. Looks like they're both out.
Mike Carey is our referee.
Illegal touching by the kicking team, number 21, went out of bounds and was the first to touch the ball. It's a 5-yard penalty, re-kick, 4th down.
So Terry Cousin on his way downfield.
Well, I was wondering why they threw the flag, Greg. I didn't know, but this is the reason why. He went out of bounds. Cannot be the first person to come back in and touch the football. Excellent kick by Matt Turk. Really good job by Cousins, not letting his feet go into the end zone, throws it back out.
And sharp eyes by the officials on the far sideline, and so we'll have the Dolphins kick it over.
So you don't hear many announcers say sharp eyes by the official.
Well,
usually we sit up here and complain about them, right?
Miami Dolphins, 107 penalties during the regular season.
Well, you know, sometimes they can be a little overstated too. The Dolphins, they play aggressive defense. They take a few chances inside the ball. And that leads, anytime you're being real aggressive on either side of the ball, it's going to lead to a few more penalties.
So Turk will do it again. Oh, great kick. Lewis takes a look, lets it bounce, and it goes into the end zone. And some scuffling at midfield. Penalty markers are down. Number 56 is Ed Hartwell, the rookie linebacker.
He's smart, picking on the punter. Looked like he was going after Matt Turk. I caught the end of it.
And we'll have another conversation here.
Well, there was the flag. Oh, I see what. Look at that. Matt Turk coming to the rescue. Excellent job by him.
Coming to the rescue of number 56, Twan Russell. Here's Mike Carey. Holding and personal foul calls against the Ravens. But we're still having an official conversation in midfield. And now here's Mike Carey.
There are 2 fouls, both on the receiving team. Holding, number 56, is declined. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, a blow to the head with the forearm on number 56. That's half the distance to the goal from the 20. Number 56 is ejected.
Oh, Ed Hartwell, the rookie, 4th-round draft pick, is no longer available to Brian Billick here today. You can get complete NFL playoff and Super Bowl coverage from the official source at superbowl.com or America Online, keyword superbowl.com. Ed Hartwell being walked off the field after his ejection. Terry Allen and Sam Gash in the backfield now as Gerback. And there's a mix-up in the backfield, and down goes Gerback at the 8-yard line. Jason Taylor with the loss of a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, a couple things happened. I saw Elvis Gerback right before the play pat himself on the rear end. I don't know if he was trying to change the play, but the offensive line, the running backs all seem to be thinking it's a run to the left. Jason Taylor gets a nice free hit on the quarterback.
7 minutes to play in the first. Miami looking to focus on terrific field position as Gerback steps back, throws far side, and that's complete to Shannon Sharpe. Out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Armin Katayan is on the Baltimore sideline today. Armin.
Thank you, Greg. After a very intense, focused, kind of edgy week of practice, what you might call a defending Super Bowl champions week of practice, Brian Billick had a very simple message to his team before the game. He said, play like a champion. You know what that's about. I don't have to tell you what it means. Just go out and do it. Back to you.
All right, Armin, as we talked to Brian Billick, he was not concerned about the attitude his team was going to arrive with today. Gerback over the middle, and that's complete to number 86, Todd Heap, out across the 25 to the 27-yard line and a first down.
Well, you know, so many things are said negative about Elvis Gerback and as you read the papers and watch games, but the one thing that's not brought up enough, that play really illustrated the size. He's 6'6". He's able to stand in there when players or defensive players and the offensive linemen around him. He makes a casual, easy throw over the middle. A smaller quarterback could not have done what he just did.
Gerback with fine protection this time and throws incomplete. Intended for Heap, and Moreland Greenwood was there on the coverage, and you alluded to it earlier, Phil. There has been just a firestorm around the quarterback position for the Baltimore Ravens this season.
Well, a couple things. One, Greg, when they made the switch, or no matter what, even if they didn't make a switch, the quarterback, if it's Trent Dilfer or Elvis Gerback, was going to be the story with the Baltimore Ravens this year because it was last year. But the biggest thing that surprises me and probably annoys me is how much his own teammates continue to talk about it.
On 2nd and 10, that pass is complete to number 80, Brandon Stokely. Stokely breaks away across the 35 to the 38-yard line and appears to have enough for a first down.
Well, again, Gerback just stands above everybody and makes a nice soft throw to Brandon Stokely. Now, when you watch this game today, there's Zach Thomas on the tackle. When you watch this game, the Ravens want to throw the football inside. They want to go against the linebackers of the Miami Dolphins or the safeties. They don't want to go outside. Let Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain. Their matchup's not near as good out there.
Elvis 3 out of 4 throwing for 29 yards so far. And out across the 40 to the 44 is Mo Williams.
Wow, Mo Williams, that's what did Jonathan Ogden last night told us, or yesterday I should say. He goes, we're going to run the football and this and that, and we always hear that, but he says, for the first time last week, we actually did what the coaches said we were going to do. We stuck with the run. They got the power game as far as the run going, and we saw a little clue of it right there with Mo Williams.
Jonathan Ogden, by the way, says, I much prefer to run block rather than pass block.
When you're 6'9", 330 or 40, you'd like to do that too, yeah.
On 2nd and 4, this is Terry Allen out to the 48-yard line.
Then you look at Terry Allen. How about we talk to Terry Allen during the preseason? He gets brought in. Jamal Lewis gets hurt. He thinks, I'm coming in just to be a backup. First day he walks in, they go, Terry, you're the starter. You're going to take it all. And he's like, well, look, I retired. I thought I could just get a few carries a game. But Brian Billick said he's been successful here late in the year because he did hurt himself, missed a few games, and got some fresh legs under him again.
Well, we're going to have a measurement out at the 48-yard line. And they're that short of a first down. Zach Thomas with a little medical attention on the sideline.
Well, you look at it, you can see his eyes are watering. Watch what happens. Zach Thomas in the middle of your screen, 54. Well, I couldn't see what happened there, but he must have got hit in the face because he came to the sideline. They were working on his nose.
3rd and inches for a first down. Sorry, Zach. Jason Brookins lines up behind Sam Gash, follows him to right side. First down across midfield and then some. And Jason Brookins at 6 feet, 235 pounds, following maybe the best blocking fullback in the NFL.
Well, a couple things. Elvis Gerback, real smart. Quick snap count, got it going before the Dolphins defense could dig in. And Greg, you're right. We watch the films of games before we do every week, and Sam Gash, He's a destroyer. Blocking back is not a good word. Zach Thomas says there is no question he is the best blocking fullback he has ever faced in this league.
On first down, Terry Allen, room to run. Inside the 40, inside the 35, and down to about the 32-yard line. 13 yards on the play and a first down as Baltimore begins to celebrate its first trip into Miami territory.
Well, you can, so far, if you watch this game now, every single run up inside. Nice blocking. Flynn, everybody. Mulatalo gets a good block. Benny Anderson, the right guard, makes a good block. And a nice cutback by Terry Allen. Benny Anderson gets his guy. Tim Bowen's going.
Brookins and Gash now, and Brookins with the handoff, and this time straight up the middle to about the 26.
Now this is just what Baltimore, of course, every team wants to do, but they want the Dolphins to gamble, to come up in there and have to gamble to stop those type of runs. If you do, the Ravens thrive on trying to throw deep balls down the field to get pass interference or those long completions. And you get those chances only after you show the other team you can stuff it down their throat. And look at the runs. All of them up the middle.
35 yards rushing on this drive alone. This play will not count as markers fly.
False start. Offense, number 66. 5 yards, still second down.
That's our Benny Anderson, young offensive guard, rookie. Brian Billick says, he says, this guy can be something special and be good, but he's young. What did he say, Greg? He just kills us twice a game. He just kills. He gets Elvis just run over like twice a game, but when he has his assignment straight, he's a really good player.
Terry Allen, the lone back now, and Gerback to throw. Out here to Shannon Sharp, and Sharp out of bounds at about the 25.
And you know, when you're an offense that kind of likes to get some short runs and keep plodding up in there, when you have penalties, it makes it very difficult to overcome. But Shannon Sharp, that's what they hope to do today, is throw a lot of short passes to him.
And what Brian Billick ultimately hopes to do is to free up some one-on-one activity on the outside with his receivers and the Miami cornerbacks. 3rd and 3 as we come up on a minute and a half to play. And Gerback goes out to the far side. Direct snap into the backfield. That's to Jermaine Lewis. And Lewis to about the 20-yard line and a first down. Did you think that wide receiver entered into Elvis Gerback's resume?
Well, really what you should do, never send anybody out there with a quarterback because they're not going to throw it to him for a lot of reasons. But we've seen this play. You see it almost every single game now. I saw it last night with the Jets doing it with the running back, but the Ravens like to invent ways to get the football to Jermaine Lewis. That's one way to do it. Move Elvis Gerback and put him as a running back.
13th play of this drive. This is Terry Allen. Right side, inside the 10, fights his way to about the 12, or inside 15 to the 12. Brian Walker and Brock Marion coming up after the 8-yard pickup.
Ooh, are they running that football hard and up inside? And Terry Allen, yeah, he's had surgeries on his knees, and he tried to retire this offseason, but the Ravens, they wouldn't let him once Jamal Lewis went down. Not a big guy, but a really tough runner inside. And you can see he's running so hard today, running very hard today. Zach Thomas missed a few tackles so far here.
This is Brookins, and Brookins gets wrapped up at the 13 by Jason Taylor. And this first quarter will come to an end. Baltimore, no first quarter touchdowns. Now in 12 straight games, but they are in ideal position as they change ends. They're down 3-0, but knocking on the door. And we're back to Pro Player Stadium after this.
Sponsored by Wendy's Super Value Menu, the best 99 cents you can spend. And by Beechwood Aged Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers.
Back for the start of the second quarter at Pro Player Stadium, and the Ravens are looking at a 3rd and 3 from their own 13-yard line.
Well, the Ravens in that first critical 3rd down They had Jermaine Lewis as a quarterback. This time, 5 wide receivers, showing a lot of different looks.
Quarterback draw. Gerback pulled down at the 10, falls forward to the 9, and that'll be short of a first. Or will it? Let's see where they spot the football.
Hey, no, wait. Don't hedge. Don't hedge. It looked like he didn't really gain any. At first, I thought Elvis Gerback, it's going to be a touchdown. And then Ernest Grant did a terrific job making a tackle to stop it because all the other defenders were chasing wide receivers, nobody watching the quarterback.
So it is a 1st and goal from the 9. Mo Williams, the lone back, he gets the handoff, cuts it back inside the 5-yard line.
Well, Zach Thomas told us on Friday, and I've already seen it right here today so far, no matter where the running back starts, he says, what did he say? They always take it left, they cut it back. If they go right, they cut it back the other way. So let's watch Zach Thomas and see if we can pick it up. He's going left, up. Oh, he sees the cutback, but it's too late. Kip Vickers gets the block on him.
Allen and Gash back into the lineup on 2nd and goal. Allen follows Gash, right side, touchdown.
Boy, that was an impressive drive by the Baltimore Ravens offense. They just overpowered the Dolphins up front. Look, I knew it was going to be a run. Everybody's watching at home. You're thinking they're going to keep running it. The Dolphin defense knows it. Nice block. Mike Flynn gets Zach Thomas and allows Terry Allen to cut back just a little for the touchdown.
61 rushing yards on that drive for Baltimore. Matt Stover for the extra point, and it is good. Impressive drive indeed. And Terry Allen follows Sam Gash on the right side. 7-3 Ravens. I want to remind you, the Nextel halftime report, Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry have the latest playoff news, and will be joined live by Pittsburgh quarterback Cordell Stewart. It all comes up on the Nextel halftime report.
Well, Brian Billick told us yesterday, Greg, he says, hey, I don't know if I believed him or not, because I believe the season tells you something. Forget it all. We're a different team. We made it to the playoffs. You'll see what we really are now. So far, very impressive.
Danny Kites' kickoff is taken by Brock Marion, just shy of the 15-yard line. Penalty marker flies as Marion goes down at the 33-yard line.
But, you talk about it the week for the Baltimore Ravens. They said as soon as that Monday night game was over, we felt relief. We were energized and ready to go to work and ready for the new season.
Holding during the return, number 51, 10 yards, first down.
Tommy Hendricks guilty of the hold for the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, on that touchdown, the emotional and physical leader, Ray Lewis, celebrates.
Hi, this is Ray Lewis of the Baltimore Ravens. The playoffs is truly what it's all about in the NFL. But trust me when I say this. The men and women serving in the military, that's what it's truly about. And I want to say personally, thanks to each and every one of
you. Ray Lewis, as we said, the not just the physical leader on the field for the Baltimore Ravens, but the emotional leader as well. First down, Miami. Fiedler, quick pass, far side, Dedrick Ward. And Ward to the 25. He'll pick up a 4, and it'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, when you see that play by the Miami Dolphins, that is not called in the huddle. That's a play that Chan Gailey lets the quarterback and the receiver. It could be a running play. Just if the defender is off the wide receiver, Jay Fiedler has the opportunity to stand up, throw it quick to the wide receiver, and they're expecting it. And I asked Chan Gailey, what does that play average every time you do it? He said, so far for the year, 9 yards every time they do it has been the average. So quite a successful play for the Dolphins.
Travis Minor now in the backfield, and he takes the handoff and goes straight ahead. Dave Wannstedt telling us that we're going to want to test the Ravens on the perimeter of their defense, which is why Travis Minor is probably going to see a bit more action than he usually does today.
Well, he can get outside. Now, look, you got Sam Adams, Tony Saragusa, people like that, Lionel Dalton, and all of them in there. Hard to move them out of the way, especially when you don't have an overpowering offensive line. So go outside, you got a better chance there.
Minor and 4 wide receivers as Fiedler will work out of the shotgun. They need 3 yards to the 31 for a first down. On the blitz, Fiedler not going to get it running and is stacked up at the 25-yard line.
Well, that time it was a blitz, and what this play illustrates how disciplined the Ravens were that time and most of the time on defense. Marvin Lewis knows it. They come in the blitz. Nobody gets, watch, 2 guys coming. Nobody gets over anxious. They stay in their lanes, and then Ray Lewis sees Jay Fiedler step up. Him and then Anthony Mitchell both turn and make the play. Hard to be a running quarterback against the Ravens defense.
So Matt Turk, who kicked one 52 yards. Story about Matt Turk that he wears a shoe on his kicking foot that's 3 sizes too small because he has to feel the football. He also says it hurts by the end of the day. Here's Jermaine Lewis, and Lewis dragged down at the 31-yard line by Travis Minor on special teams. We'll be right back to Miami after this. Miami middle linebacker Zach Thomas did not play a week ago against Buffalo due to shoulder and neck problems. Back in the lineup today. Gerback to throw on first down over the middle, and wide open is number 87 Kadri Ismail, and Ismail out to the 47.5-yard line.
Well, what the Baltimore Ravens did, they came out 2 tight ends, Todd Heap, Shannon Sharp, and they split them out about 5 yards. That puts your defense out. Then they bring Kadri Ismail. Watch him come from the left and come across the field. Now you get a wide receiver. Look at that. Nobody is chasing him. Zach Thomas was chasing the running back out of the backfield. So good design and good execution by the Ravens offense.
First catch of the day for Ismail. The pitch for Jermaine Lewis. And Lewis can't get inside the block, and he is down at about the 46-yard line.
You know, when Jermaine Lewis takes off running and they hit him, he just goes down differently than like, Terry Allen does. He goes down quick. He's used to having big open space on returns, so he's not going to read the blocks and cut back when it deals with offensive linemen.
Oh, Jermaine Lewis officially listed at 5'7", 180 pounds.
Well, after what he did last year, most of the teams around the NFL were all out searching, trying to find somebody like him to give their team a real jolt on special teams.
On 2nd and 11, this is Terry Allen, and Allen breaks it outside. Penalty marker is down as he goes out of bounds. He has enough for the first down, but let's check the flag. And we have a holding call against Baltimore. That's the preliminary signal.
Boy, Terry Allen.
Holding. Offense. Number 87. 10 yards. Remains second down.
Well, Brian Billick has had some injuries in that backfield. Terry Allen missed 5 games with a bad ankle and a broken hand. Jason Brookins missed 4 games with a broken foot. And he knew signing Terry Allen, who's in his 11th season, he said Terry Allen's going to wear down towards the end of the year. But you know what? He missed some action with a broken hand, and he comes back fairly fresh.
Yeah, he says he'll be done by about the middle of the year, but we'll have somebody else ready by then. But you're right. When he broke his hand, Greg, it allowed him to stay in wonderful shape, keep conditioning his legs, and now that I said earlier, he's come back, fresh legs, and he's fast.
2nd and 14. This is Allen. And Allen stacked up at the 45. Jason Taylor, Kenny Mixon making the stop after a 2-yard pickup. And now the Ravens are looking at a 3rd and 12.
You know, 3rd and 12, the Miami Dolphins talking to some of their players. They think on 3rd down, Elvis Gerback likes to look where he wants to throw the football a little too quick. So they're going to gamble, read his eyes, and take off, hoping that he doesn't come out the receiver and go to the second guy.
Williams and Ian Badejo are 2 of the 5 wide receivers. Gerback throws incomplete and almost intercepted by number 21, Terry Cousins.
And another problem the Baltimore Ravens have, and defensive players know it, and it's going to be a key. Watch Elvis Gerbach's hands. He flinches them way before the snap. Defensive ends especially can look underneath the center, see it, and it gives them about a half a second jump on the tackles on the outside.
So here's Kyle Richardson, set to kick it away to Jeff Ogden. Hellestrate talked out of retirement to be the long snapper in place of Maise, who is injured and out for the rest of the year. Nice kick. Penalty marker flies as Ogden pulls it in and is hit at about the 17-yard line.
You see a lot of penalties on special teams because both of them have such good athletes on the outside. It's just hard to block them, you know, running down the field in that open space. So you gamble, the officials, they see it.
During the kick, holding by the receiving team, number 27. 10-yard penalty. They retain possession. First down.
Arturo Freeman is the guilty party. So this is going to back the Dolphins deep into their own territory when we come back after this.
Done. And by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Coming up on 8.5 to play here in the first half. Look at how Baltimore is dominating the total yardage department. Travis Minor takes the pitch, tries the right side, gets nowhere. And that Baltimore defense beginning to rise to the occasion. That time led by Rob Burnett, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, the Baltimore Ravens have a few wrinkles for the Miami Dolphins, and here's one of them. 5 defensive linemen, Peter Boulware being the 5th, and they shift. Look, 4 of them to the left of the Miami Dolphins. They're going to stunt. Look at them all moving towards the football, nowhere to run. So a new look for the Miami offense, and you know the Ravens pretty excited, thought we're going to make some plays out of this defense.
Well, Baltimore's had to deal with the loss of a fine defensive end in Michael McCrary. And Peter Boulware has truly stepped up his play. 2nd and 10. Minor spinning across the 5 and out to about the 7-yard line. Burnett and Rod Woodson making the stop. It's a 4-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd and 6.
Now, see, that's just not even fair. You block them pretty well up front that time. Your runner picks the right hole. And what happens? There's Rod Woodson coming from his safety spot. He reads it quick. Watch to your left, number 26 fills it in there. And I'll never forget what Chan Gailey said. He goes, Rod Woodson, and along with the other Corey Harris, do such a good job tackling the football, and they're so aggressive, it hurts your running game.
Fiedler needs the 14-yard line for a first down. From the goal line, throws out to the far side, McKnight, and McKnight gets a first down out across the 15.
Well, Jay Fiedler did what he said he was going to do. He said, I need to be patient. And that's what you got to be against this Ravens defense. No pressure. And the longer he stood there, it's a zone defense. So the defenders keep backing up. So finally, when he throws it to James McKnight, look, he just stood there the whole play. He's allowed now, because of that, the time, to still pick up the first down.
Dave Wanstead said part of the game plan, we want to throw a lot of quick stuff and make them miss. Fiedler over the middle, and this one's to the tight end, Weaver. And that'll pick up a couple. Almost to the 19-yard line. Jamie Sharper with a stop after a 2-yard gain.
You know, I got to laugh because I almost was going to say it. Tony Siragusa, who really does a good job of analyzing other teams when you talk to him, he says, you watch. When Miami gets a first down coming out, their first down play is going to be a screen. And that's what it was that time. He faked the screen outside, threw a screen inside to the tight end.
It's scary when you sit there and listen to someone like Goose go, they're going to do this, they're going to do this, they're going to do this.
These defensive linemen now, they study a lot of film. They know what's going on when the other team lines up.
Deep drop for Fiedler this time, and plenty of time to throw. Now he pulls it down and takes off and is down at about the 19-yard line. Adelius Thomas, the second-year defensive end out of Southern Miss, making the stop.
What did Tony Siragusa, he told our producer and director yesterday, he goes, hey, you guys keep a camera on Adelius Thomas now. You know, he's producing our games too, but Adalius Thomas is coming on, like you said, Greg, second year, starting to make the plays in the running game, knocks balls down in the passing game, and has the ability to rush the passer too.
Third and 7. 5 minutes to play in the first half. Fiedler throws far side, incomplete. And again, we saw a receiver go down. That was number 87, Dedrick Ward, on the far side of the field.
Yeah, smart throw, safe throw. Nobody open down the field, so you just got to wait for your opportunity. If you're a quarterback, do not get impatient.
Now, this is a strength Dave Wanstead feels he has. The Miami Dolphins, the best punt coverage team in the National Football League. They average only allow 4.5 yards a return. And here's Jermaine Lewis.
Beautiful.
Lewis from the 36. He's going to get more than that this time. Penalty marker is down. Lewis inside the 40, and there's another marker with a face mask, and Matt Turk said that's the only way I could hold on to him.
Oh, that's right. He had to do whatever it takes. Get him down, stop the touchdown. Probably going to have a block in the back. And just in case you didn't know, Jermaine Lewis is really fast. See, I like to keep you abreast of these things.
Appreciate it.
You were talking earlier about Matt Turk. Brian Billick's going, are you sure? They never pick the flags up, Coach. You know it. His shoe size, what'd you say, 3 sizes?
3 sizes too small. I said, how does that feel by the end of the day? He goes, oh, it hurts. Now we've got penalties against each side. Here's Mike Carey.
There were fouls by both teams on the play. During the kick, holding by the receiving team, number 21. And at the end of the run, major face mask, number 84. By rule, those fouls offset. The receiving team keeps the ball at the spot of dead ball. Timeout.
So we come up on 4.5 to play in the first half, and pretty good field position for the Ravens right after this. 5-yard line where the foul was committed by the Ravens. The Ravens chose not to have a re-kick, and so they take it at the 35-yard line. Burback to throw. Deep down the sideline. Incomplete. Intended for Travis Taylor, number 89, guarded by Sam Madison and Brian Billick. As we said earlier, yeah, we'll take our shots down the field every once in a while.
Yeah, they will, but it's not easy to get those shots open down the field against Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison. So far, Elvis Gerback being smart, not taking chances, and getting better protection than I've seen him get in the last few games of the regular season.
Boy, there has been a firestorm around the Baltimore quarterback, hasn't there? 2nd and 10. Back again with good protection. Throws to the near side and out of bounds to Shannon Sharp. And that'll be no gain on the play.
Well, you see a lot of this when you watch the Ravens play. Shannon Sharp a lot of times can be the outlet receiver. Elvis Gerback, look at his eyes. He was looking down the field. Knows he has to get rid of it quick. Zach Thomas on the coverage.
Zach tied with Ray Lewis, leading the league with 117 solo tackles on the season.
Did you see Shannon Sharp just give that little forearm to Zach Thomas? Shannon Sharp is excellent at using his hands.
3rd and 10. Gerback throws. And that is complete across the 45-yard line to Sharp. That's 11 yards and a first down. And Gerback threaded the needle.
Yeah, just an excellent throw. What he does so well, Shannon Sharp, Arturo Freeman on the coverage. Watch where the football goes. It's down low to protect the receiver and also protect the quarterback from an interception.
Fine throw by Gerback, fine grab by Shannon Sharp, who is the all-time receptions and yardage leader among tight ends. Terry Allen. And Allen just shy of midfield. Let's go down to Armin Catane. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, the Brian Billick said the thing he likes best about Elvis Grbac is how he's overcome all the adversity. And it really, for Elvis, all these trying times trace back to his days in San Francisco. He said all the tough times there when he allowed football to really follow him home. But then his 8-month-old son, Jack, was diagnosed with spina bifida. He endured a 5-hour operation, tied up with tubes. And Elvis said it was the kind of event that put football in its place, in its way very liberating. He goes, I play for the love of the game now. Back to you.
Yeah, Armin, thank you. He says it's been a trying year, but after previous experiences, I can handle it. This is to Jason Brookins, and Brookins across midfield into about the 47-yard line of the Dolphins.
You know, it was interesting talking to him, though, yesterday, Greg, and, oh, gosh, I almost got him mad, didn't I? I said, did you, you know, your teammates making all these comments about you in the paper yesterday? He goes, what paper?
What did they say now?
What did they say? And I go, wait, you know, settle down, Elvis. I don't mean this to be bad. It was not bad compliments. They just were talking about your situation, and it really is incredible how much has been discussed so far about him this year down there.
Yeah, and Elvis also said he liked the idea of 75 degrees after last Monday night. Yeah. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Defensive struggle as advertised. 7-3 Ravens.
Listen to the game.
CBS is sponsored by the United States Army, an army of one. And by the Home Depot, driving down the cost of home improvement.
Two minutes to play here in the first half, and Brian Billick is going to like his numbers on third down today compared to the last 3 games where the Ravens were only converting 28% on third down.
Well, it's easier to convert those third downs when you're running it a whole lot better on first and second down.
Mo Williams is in the backfield on this 3rd and 3. Grbac gets rid of it. Hits Stokely incomplete. Incomplete pass, and this run back will count for nothing by Terry Cousins.
Well, Brian Billick is just saying, catch the ball. But another tight throw by Elvis Grbac. Nice job. Throws it to the back shoulder of Brandon Stokely. Makes him turn around and helps protect Brandon Stokely. And everybody sees the replay. They think he did catch it. But what happened, as soon as he caught it, he did have control. But he's hit. The football comes out before he makes his move.
And I think we're going to get a challenge here.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. It's being reviewed by instant replay.
And, of course, this is inside of 2 minutes. So Dave Wannstedt did not have to throw the red flag or push his button.
So Mike Carey will take a look at what happens. We take another look, and Brandon Stokely, by definition, has to make a football move after the catch.
That is the key, Greg, and I think when you see it, well, you know, when I see him in slow motion, I always change my mind.
I think Mike Carey is going to look to see if he got a full step off before he lost the football.
Now, also remember, of course, the Dolphins will get no touchdown out of this. The whistle did blow the play dead right there.
So at best, it would be Miami ball. And, you know, suddenly this becomes huge for the Dolphins as we approach halftime.
Yeah, so a receiver must catch the football. He has to get both feet on the ground and make some type of football move. That is the rule. Does he catch it? Yes. Feet on the ground, ball comes loose.
That's awfully close. Awfully close. Just as he gets that first step, the ball comes loose.
I can't even make a good guess.
So with 1:53 to play, well, Mike Carey didn't take him long.
I say he's going to go with the call on the field. Of course, I'm so good at this.
After reviewing the play, the receiver did not have 2 feet down when the ball came loose. Incomplete pass. The ruling on the field stands. 4th down.
Well, what Mike Carey was looking for was maybe a step and a half.
Here's the catch. Foot is still not down. The right foot is not down, and well, it's amazing. I always get it right after he tells me what was not. But
so here's Richardson to kick it away to Ogden. This one is going to float close to and into the end zone. And so Miami will take over at their own 20-yard line. 47-yard punt and no return. And the Dolphins came within a footstep of having about 50 yards better field position. Nextel halftime report coming up shortly. Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry have the latest playoff news, and they are joined live by Pittsburgh quarterback Cordell Stewart. You'd have to say Cordell has had himself a decent season, huh? It's all coming up on the Nextel halftime report.
Cordell's in the house. Is that what you say, Greg?
I didn't say that.
I'm pretty hip, man. I got all those things down.
You are. Minute 44 to play in the first half. Both teams, all their timeouts remaining. Fiedler running out of time. Now out of the pocket and throws, and that is complete, but short of the 20-yard line to Travis Minor.
Boy, again, disciplined by the Ravens defensive line, keeping Jay Fiedler in the pocket.
Miami timeout stops the clock. A minute 32 to play in the first half. To stop the clock with a minute 32 to play.
They still have 2 timeouts. The Miami Dolphins have 3.
You know, I mentioned to you during the break, Phil, that Brian Billick said we'll try to take our shots down the field, and they have done that a couple of times, but the Miami Dolphins have not. And once again, it just magnifies the importance of Chris Chambers not being on the field.
Yeah, it really does hurt, Greg. Chris Chambers, hey, he's not only important, he's one of the better wide receivers in the National Football League right now, and they wanted to go deep. They had a couple of little plans to get deep on the Ravens, but we have not seen them even attempt it so far in the game.
Here comes Boulware on the outside. Fiedler steps up, throws over the middle, incomplete, just behind his intended receiver, Arande Gadsden.
Well, they're making the quarterback move. They're making him feel uneasy. The throwing lanes are tight, and Jay Fiedler's not found that rhythm yet. Look at it, 5 drives, only 49 yards, and that's why, because they haven't done much on offense. That's why the Baltimore Ravens used a timeout after that first down completion.
And by the way, that longest play of 10 yards is a 10-yard run by quarterback Ray Lucas. Fiedler on 3rd and 10. Going to throw complete across the 35 and close to the 40. Dedrick Ward for a first down. And that's a 19-yard pickup. And we have a timeout with a minute 16 to play. We'll be right back. Jay Fiedler walking back onto the field. Let's take a look at that last pass.
Yeah, let's look at it from behind Jay Fiedler. He's been under pressure. So when your quarterback gets under pressure, and he just gets it off, you've got to anticipate. And it's hard to anticipate when you know you're throwing against a good defense like the Ravens. And Peter Boulware, number 58, he is the biggest reason why this Raven defense has been playing well of late. His ability to rush the passer.
Dolphins have only been inside the Baltimore 40 once today, and that was on the Lewis fumble at the start of the day. Handoff to Travis Minor. And Minor, loose football.
Fumble.
The officials say Baltimore has it, and they do.
Ravens so active up front. Another different look. Trying to get Travis Minor on a draw, get him outside maybe.
Watch 58, Peter Boulware. He ends up with the football.
Yes, who knocks it loose, so is Minor going up inside. Look at the Ravens all standing, trying to hold their ground. And Adalius Thomas, 96, could be the person that knocked it loose. There's another view. Jamie Sharper. Nice job falling back into play, just swats it out of his hand.
So now the Ravens at the Miami 41. And straight ahead is Mo Williams. Williams inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. 1 minute to play in the first half. 2nd and 6, and Gerback in a hurry up.
David Bowens, terrific job on the tackle.
Gerback throws, and that's incomplete. Stokely coming across the middle of the field. It'll be 3rd and 6. I said earlier, as advertised, and this is pretty much the game we expected here today.
Yeah, this is not going to be a pretty game offensively like you saw last night with the Jets and the Raiders, Greg. I said this will be almost the exact opposite. Who makes the big play in offense, but maybe in a greater chance of a team making a turnover that causes the points for the other team.
You saw the numbers on the Dolphins and how turnovers have killed them this season. Here's the handoff straight ahead to Williams, and Williams inside the 30 has enough for a first down. And the clock stops at 44 seconds to play as the Ravens take their second timeout.
Now, as we look at this game so far, this stuck in my head. I've never heard this. Jonathan Ogden told me yesterday, and you too, Greg, or maybe he's just talking to me. I don't know. But he says, hey, we're going to win this game, and if we do, it's going to be because Mike Flynn at center, Benny Anderson, and Edwin Mulatalo, they're going to do it for us by blocking up. And I'm going, oh, come on, Jonathan. I'm thinking, you're silly. But when you watch this game so far, the running has gone up the middle, and those three guys are the key. They have blocked Miami's defense so far today.
Baltimore has rushed for 95 yards, and of those 95, 78 of them right up the gut.
It's like old time. I mean, nobody in the league anymore can just line up and run the ball up the middle of a defense because nobody has the patience to do it, and usually, or the talent or size. And the Ravens got some size up front.
And it's been the story for the Miami Dolphins that since they lost Darrell Gardner to a back injury this season, it creates a huge hole in the middle of their defensive line.
I keep hearing everybody say it's not that big of a deal, but Darrell Gardner was such a good athlete. He created negative plays for their defense.
This is Allen to the 26.
Wow, Zach Thomas got in there, made a big hit that time. Hurry-up offense by the Ravens.
Half a minute to play, 2nd and 8. Allen again. And the pile moves forward to about the 23.
Well, I was going to say their primary goal is just get a field goal out of this, and it is really evident of that. Just running the football 2 times right up the middle. Elvis Gerback going to let it run down before he calls the timeout.
Standing right next to Mike Carey and watches it wind down and says timeout with 2 seconds to play.
Well, Brian Billick, I know that they're talking about over there. Well, what if we have a bad snap? Call a timeout before that. We could fall on it and try again, but don't think negative. Just go with it.
Well, we were interested to see if what the Ravens told us yesterday was true, that they said you are going to see the same team that we hit the postseason with running last year.
Well, so far, I thought it was a terrific first half by the Ravens, really on both sides of the ball. The defense, just what I saw last year, so disciplined. Nobody overplaying anything, just putting the pressure on the offense to really execute. And the biggest thing, Greg, just running the football like they did in the first half. They've only had like 2 or 3 games all year where they ran the football well.
Including the season ender against Minnesota where they rushed for 202 yards. It's a 40-yard attempt by Stover to close out the first half. He gets it away and it hit the upright. The little things in a football game. Instead of a 10-3 lead, Baltimore goes to the locker room leading by a score of 7-3. And Matt Stover thought he had it going pretty good and then is going to try a little English. On the far sideline, Dave Wanstead knows as he sees it bounce back onto the field. Let's go down to Armikatayan.
Coach, you had it all going well in the first half. Your thoughts on that missed kick there at the end?
Well, it's unfortunate. It would have been a nice emotional push for us, but the defense played beautifully. We weathered an early storm, and that's important when you're on the road in the playoffs.
All right, Coach, back over to Bonnie.
Well, Miami lucked out with a missed field goal, but Dave, you said a single turnover couldn't make a difference in this game. That being said, how much did that Travis Minor fumble hurt you?
Well, we dodged the bullet there, fortunately. You know, I mean, they missed it, but we've got to find a way to make some plays on offense. I mean, we got to take this thing into the fourth quarter and keep it close and find a way to win it in the fourth quarter. That's the deal.
Thanks, Greg.
Bonnie, Armand, thank you. Our halftime score, the Ravens 7 and the Dolphins 3. Coming up, off to Jim Nantz for the Nextel halftime report. Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry get you caught up on the latest playoff news. They'll be joined live by Pittsburgh's Cordell Stewart. It all comes your way after these messages from your local station.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
And welcome to the Nextel Halftime Report. Jim Nance from our Fifth Avenue studios, Mike Ditka, Randy Cross, Jerry Glanville.
Yes, let's
my
go.
playoff-tested veterans here at halftime. The Ravens lead it on the Terry Allen touchdown, 7-3. Hey, the Ravens have rushed for 100 yards in that first half. Allen with 49 over the
Well, everything
100.
I said in the pregame is not coming true. Here's Miami. They're sitting with their offense, 3 first downs, 70 yards, and they cannot stop the run or pass of Baltimore. If Baltimore had any kind of offense, it scored be 21-0.
Well, then I guess everything I said in the pregame
right.
was right. No, but I think you have to watch two things.
Right.
One is the passing of Elvis Gerbach in this offense in the second half. It's effective the first half. They can't make the critical error. And second is the conditioning of the Baltimore defense. It's warm. It is humid down there in Miami, and their conditioning will be a factor in the second half. Miami has an advantage.
Well, you know, I gotta talk about Mike here. He was the ball boy. In 1940, George Hollis took Sid Luckman and put in the T formation. Quarterbacks are allowed to throw. Fielder's got 39 yards, and the other quarterback, Elvis, got 64. They're running the single wing. What is this
That
thing?
other quarterback.
They're both afraid to lose.
Brett Favre had about 70 at the half earlier today.
And speaking of Favre, the Packers performed late and got away with a shaky decision going for 2 at 15-7 that allowed the 49ers to get back into it. But here's Favre to Franks. And after this, they went for 2, failed. 49ers were tied at 15, but later Amon Green ices it here to put them up 10. Packers advance to take on St. Louis in the next round. And Leslie Visser was at Lambeau Field.
What is it with Brett Favre? He's throwing the ball like Pedro Martinez or Randy Johnson.
Hey, on that last play that I caught that sealed the game, as I was coming across, he really threw a missile. I could hear the ball coming, and hey, that was a big play, and that sealed the victory for us.
Our football team has given 49er land all the excitement and entertainment and hope and thrills that one season can bring. It was a fantastic year that way.
And it comes to an end today. Divisional round all set. Green Bay and St. Louis next Sunday. Saturday, Philadelphia at Soldier Field. AFC, Oakland secured its place at Foxborough next week against New England. And again, the winner of Baltimore-Miami plays at the #1 seed, Pittsburgh, next Sunday, right here on CBS. Right now, joining us live in Atlanta, taking a 2-day respite from Pittsburgh, Steelers quarterback Cordell Stewart at his home down there in Atlanta. And Cordell, good to have you with us here today. And hey, congratulations, first off, on this remarkable season. How did all this success come about for the Steelers this year, Cordell?
Oh, I appreciate it. I mean, it's the same group of guys. Coach Malarkey came in with his ideas of what he wanted to do to allow us to have some success, which is use all my talents. Put Troy Edwards, Hines Ward, Bobby Shaw, and Plexico Burris in position and let Jerome just do what he's been doing with the Hogs up front doing their thing. So, you know, we're just really going out and performing well, and defense is just being our defense, you know, and they're ranked #1 in the league. So we're just going out and having fun and just performing and just playing to the best of our abilities.
Cordell, Mike Ditka, you've had a great year, but, you know, you got a quarterback coach for the first time in your career. Has it really helped you?
Yeah, Coach Clemens, he's come in and allowed my focus to not be as if it was like a coordinator, but more of as if it was a quarterback in a sense of understanding what I need to do and how I need to be a field general and just do the necessary things I need to do to sustain drives and make things happen on the football field without worrying about everything around me. So having that happening is really allowing me to go out and have some success right now.
Cordell, what have you worked on here during the time off with your week off? Have you worked on some of the things that you offensively struggled with maybe over the last month or so?
Well, basically all we've done is just went back to the fundamentals, and each day we prepared for each team. The first day we started off with the Jets, and then we went Baltimore, and then we wound up going Miami, not knowing who we were going to play. And now that you know, we've seen everything unfold, is going to be between two of the teams, and all we've done is went back and worked on little things just to try to give ourselves an opportunity once we get a chance to play again, just to go out and just keep playing and playing well and just doing the little things correct. Nothing too serious, nothing major, because we didn't get here playing crazy football. We got here because we've been doing something right.
When you're not playing and you're watching the defense, have you had time to watch that rookie nose tackle, Casey Hampton from Texas?
Well, the funny thing about KC, you know, we had a chance to play against him in the conference championship, Colorado and Texas, and, you know, he kind of hated that a little bit, but I kind of took about 50 cents from him because of that. But watching him play, man, he's come in and contributed a lot and helped us out a whole bunch. And just, you know, sometimes I don't have a chance to watch the defense, but on the Jumbotron. But when I do have a chance, you know, Casey, he's always around the ball along with his other compadres. So as long as they keep doing that, we'll have an opportunity to win some games.
Hey, Cordell, let's clear up something real quick here. Bettis, his condition going in the next week. It'll be 6 weeks since he last played. What do you think?
Right. I think Jerome's going to be okay. He's been practicing for the past couple weeks, and he had an opportunity to play against Cleveland, but because of the weather conditions, we decided to not let him play, you know, because we didn't want to re-injure the injury even more than what it already is, and he knows where he is. We know where he is. It's just a matter of getting out there and playing because he's so enthused, man. He's driving me crazy because he's so excited just to have that opportunity to come back and play, but we need the big guy at this point in time.
I know he's ready, and I know you are too, and we'll see you next Sunday. Thank you very much. Dion says he loves the sweater, by the way. Good luck.
I appreciate
Good luck, Cordell. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for being with us on the Direct Connect play of the day so far. Terry Allen's touchdown. Again, thanks for being with us on the Nextel Halftime Report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel. Get right through. CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel. Get right through.
At halftime at Pro Player Stadium, Baltimore leading Miami by a score of 7-3. Offensive stars like Elvis Gerback have been hoping to shine, but the defenses have taken center stage today. 7-3 at the break. And CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this message from your local station. Player Stadium, Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms, 7-3 Baltimore leading Miami. You can say a lot of things about this first half, but can't say it's surprising. Defense is the thing that takes center stage this time of year.
Yeah, it's nothing surprising, but I think, Greg, as a fan, as somebody sitting here talking about the game, I find it exciting because I thought it was crisply played. I know watching here in the second half, I want to see who makes the big play in offense, or is it a big turnover that sways the game one way or the other. So, you know, you don't always have to have 30 points by each team to make it exciting.
Miami gets its hands on the football first here in the second half. Brock Marion from the 5 to the 25 and out to the 27-yard line. And let's go down to our reporters on the sideline first. Armin Catena.
Greg, Brian Billick was very simple with his team. He said we have one half to stay alive, and to do that, we have to continue to play physically. I asked him, do you need another score to win this game? He said, yes, we probably do. Optimistic to think this score will hold up. Let's check in with Bonnie.
With the Ravens rushing for 100 yards in the first half, Dave Wanstead told me to look for much more 8-man front in the second half. And as each one of his players left the locker room coming out for the third, he emphasized to every one of them, take it one play at a time. Greg?
Bonnie, Armin, thanks much. From the 27-yard line. And Lamar Smith, not very much there against that front 7 of the Baltimore Ravens. No gain on the play as we look at the halftime numbers.
Yeah, nothing. You know, the big one is the 100 yards rushing by the Baltimore Ravens, and I thought that Dave Wanstead's comment, we're going to put more people up there, and we talked about that in the first half. That's what the Ravens are hoping to see so they can make that big play on offense.
Lamar Smith had 158 yards rushing and a touchdown against Buffalo last week. Today, 4 carries for 5 yards. Fiedler on 2nd and 10, throws to the sideline, and that is complete to Oronde Gadsden, and appears to be very close to a first down.
Yeah, very close. Could be a little short, Greg, but wow, when you say Jay Fiedler only has 30-some yards thrown in the first half, this is the reason why. Watch this move. Dwayne Starks right on it, reads Jay Fiedler, and it takes a perfect throw and a terrific catch by Gadsden to pick up the 9 yards.
And now Ray Lucas is on at quarterback on 3rd and 1 for Miami. The handoff And looking for a first down is Lamar Smith off the left side and appears to have it.
Boy, my first thought was he has it easy, and then I'm looking down here now, and it looks like he could be short.
Wow, that's not where the ball ended up on the play.
You know, a couple things that struck at Randy Cross talking about conditioning, even though it's late in the day, you know, the 4 o'clock start, not sunny. The Dolphin players, they said it's not about the sun, it's about the humidity down here.
And it is that short of a first down.
No thinking here, you punt it. It's no decision for the coach. Dave Wanstead also said, I will not gamble in the game. I am not going to lose this football game for my players. Let them go on the field and decide it for themselves.
So Matt Turk. You know, Matt Turk isn't the only kicker on that team with a smaller shoe. Olindo Mare wears one 2 sizes smaller.
So Olindo Mare is just not quite as
crazy.
Yeah. I was looking for a word. But the kicking game for the Dolphins has been really solid all year. So maybe now we'll probably see more punters around the league wearing these. Look at his right foot. You can see that it is smaller, tighter. Whatever it takes.
Off. And look at the kick that he gets away. Fair catch called for and made by Jermaine Lewis at the 15-yard line. Close, but not close enough to first down for Dave Wanstead.
For the private use of our audience, any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Jay Fiedler of the Miami Dolphins. We fought all year to get to the playoffs, but I want to thank our military personnel for fighting every day for our freedom. Thank you.
Jay Fiedler on the sideline as we welcome you back to Pro Player Stadium. And the Baltimore Ravens will start from their own 15-yard line. 3 out of 6 possessions they have begun at their own 15-yard line or worse.
Let's see if they change their defensive front here and try to force the Ravens to throw the football, and they did not.
Terry Allen. Allen with room to run up the middle and is out across the 25-yard line, and that's a first down. Brian Walker made the stop after an 11-yard gain.
See, the Ravens don't know they're going to change, so I thought the Dolphins throw up a defense here. You got them backed up. Try to stop the running game immediately, and you get good field position. But we saw what we saw the whole first half. Mike Flynn, the center, getting out on Zach Thomas. That's been a big key. They are blocking Zach Thomas today in the run game.
Once again, and this time, Allen is wrapped up at the 25-yard line by Kenny Mixon, along with the rookie Marlon Greenwood for a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Now, you know, just to explain to the fans, there's 2 safeties on every defense. They usually play deep. The Dolphins want to move one of them up. And when you move them up, what happens generally, you allow the defensive linemen to be more creative. In other words, they can start moving more, and that's when you get those defensive plays like we just saw. And there's Jim Bates, the defensive coordinator. He knows he might have to change, not afraid to.
Safeties are deep. Burback with time. Now running out of time. There's a marker down. And there is a loose ball. But the officials say that it's down.
The ruling on the field is down by contact. 3rd down.
There's a penalty marker on the far side of the field that we still have to deal with on this play.
Before the pass, holding on the defense, number 29. That's a 5-yard penalty and automatic first down.
Well, you heard a big roar. The crowd sees that it could be a fumble. It does come out, but it was blown dead on the football field, so it would not matter, and none of it matters anyway because there is a defensive holding penalty on the play.
It's on Sam Madison.
outside, Sam Madison. Oh, up top, he just took Qadri Ismail, threw him down, but I did not see the hold.
Hold may be just a generic general term there.
Well, you know, the throwdown, but you're allowed to get your hands on a pass receivers. It looked like Qadri Ismail was expecting a lot of pressure that time, and Sam Madison actually moved, and Ismail was off balance a little.
It's a first down for Baltimore at their own 30-yard line. And this is Terry Allen, and Allen straight ahead to about the 33 or 34-yard line. So Baltimore showing some dedication to the running game here today.
Well, let's take a look at Zach Thomas. Reads quick that it's a run. Again, Mike Flynn out there. Gets him to the ground, even though Zach Thomas gets in on the tackle. But Zach Thomas, we got to say, Greg, you know, tell everybody, he has a tear in his right rotator cuff. He has a little injury to his neck. He wasn't sure how he was going to react to contact today.
This is Allen, and Allen hit hard at about the line of scrimmage and falls across the 35. Kenny Mixon, number 79, in to apply a lick. It's a 2-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Well, what happens so many times in NFL games, why you see big turnarounds from one half to another. The defensive line for the Dolphins, they say, we've had enough. They're determined to stop the running game now. Hard to dominate another team physically from the start of the game all the way through.
This is a huge 3rd and 4. Gerback over the middle, incomplete, intended for Shannon Sharp. Sharp pleading his case all the way down the field.
Everybody's pleading that he was held. Let's watch Arturo Freeman, Shannon Sharp. Tremendous protection. First off, we got a hold. Both arms wrapped around Shannon Sharp, and it's not called. Good job by Gerback standing in there.
On comes Kyle Richardson to kick it away to Jeff Ogden.
Greg, that's the kind of hugs I give you.
I know, and I love them. Ogden, fair catch call, and now he lets it bounce, and it bounces out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. Shannon taking a breather. A little upset on the side.
Is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Subway, fresh made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway, eat fresh. And by the Honda Accord. It's advanced, it's roomy, it's the Accord.
So the Miami Dolphins trying to get something started from their own 27-yard line. You see the running game is not what it was against Buffalo last week.
Sorry, Greg. They would like to make a little move go on Dwayne Starks.
Quick pass this side to McKnight. And McKnight across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. And while we have a moment, we remind you can get complete NFL, playoff, and Super Bowl coverage from the official source at superbowl.com or America Online keyword superbowl.com. You were talking about going deep on Dwayne Starks, and we saw the Miami quarterbacks working on the move that they would like to make.
Well, I thought they would come out with it pretty quick because Dwayne Starks, the last series, remember, he looked at Jay Fiedler, almost knocked down that pass to Rondé Gadsden. That's what they want to take advantage of, the fact that he likes to watch the quarterback.
Fiedler rolls, throws, hits Weaver. Weaver across the 45, across midfield and into Baltimore territory at the 48-yard line. Dwayne Starks made that tackle, 21-yard pickup and a first down for Miami.
Well, Miami has been very conservative on offense. The one thing that Shane Gailey said, we are going to move Jay Fiedler around a lot to throw the football, but they have not put him on the move. Instead, they've been throwing short passes. That time, the fake one way, the sweep, they get rid of it to Jed Weaver.
That is Jay Fiedler's longest pass play of the day. It was good for 21 yards. The pitch for Lamar Smith, and nowhere to go. And still works his way back to the line of scrimmage. May have gained about a half yard on the play. Good job by Lamar Smith.
Well, you know, your running game is struggling when your running back makes a terrific run to get a half yard. So it's just tough going. The Ravens really believe and react and do and are disciplined. They are going to stop your running game first. Everybody we talked to said there is no way Miami's going to be able to run the football against us tomorrow.
Well, Brian Billick said if the Dolphins were able to run the football today, he would be surprised. Lamar Smith, 1 yard on that last play, no gain on his 3 previous carries. Fiedler tipped at the line of scrimmage and it falls incomplete.
Oh, that was trouble. That was trouble. Anytime if I had a choice, I'm going to throw the football outside, I would go towards Dwayne Stark's side, even though he's a good player, but it's tipped this time. Who gets it? Jamie Sharper, nice job. Tony Saragusa says we are knocking down a lot of passes by quarterbacks, but Chris McAllister, Greg, that time had it. He cut in front of the receiver. He was going to try to score a touchdown if Jay Fiedler got that football out.
That's what that bright light was. Chris McAllister's eyes lighting up. Travis Minor into the backfield on 3rd and 9. Fiedler on the move now. Still looking for running room, picking up blockers. Cuts inside to the 40 and is very close to a first down at the 39.
What a job by Jay Fiedler. What they were trying to do, they were trying to run a pick play inside by the 2 guys in the backfield. The Ravens stuffed it, nothing there. And look at Jay Fiedler. No pressure, cuts back across the field, and boy, does he stick his head in there.
I got to tell you, I have a disagreement with the spot of that football. They put it at the 40-yard line, and Jay Fiedler was comfortably across to the 39. 7:16 to play in the 3rd. Take a look at where Jay Fiedler comes down as he rolls across the 40-yard line.
Oh, good. His leg was down before that too, Greg. I just noticed it on that replay. I wanted to point that out because you were wrong.
So on 4th and 1, the Dolphins will go for it. Lamar Smith, Dion Dyer behind Fiedler. And penalty markers fly. And this can only be against Miami.
Oh, wide receiver.
False start. Offense number 86. 5 yards remains, 4th down.
That's Oronde Gadsden.
And you know, you'd say, well, if it's going to be a run, why would he ever move? But Oronde Gadsden, it was a throw by Jay Fiedler, so he was trying to get a quick break off the football.
And what it also amounts to is a wasted timeout prior to this by the Dolphins. They're down to 2.
But you know what? Oronde Gadsden, his toe hurts him, the hamstring, really worried about how it would react out here today. When you're fighting injuries, it does take away from you mentally. You're not as sharp.
He told you before the game, Phil, he wished it was a little warmer.
Yeah, because he was worried about his hamstring.
Oh, look at this sky-high punt. Bouncing inside the 10, inside the 5, and batted back to the 2. Scott McGarrahan on special teams, number 41, backs it back. Nice special teams play by the Dolphins.
Sponsored by Capital One, who asks, what's in your wallet? And by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Our NFL.com interactive poll for today. Over the last decade, which NFL head coach made the best transition from college to pro? Log on, cast your vote at NFL.com. Well, the Miami faithful are on their feet. The line of scrimmage, the Baltimore 1-yard line. The 4th time in 7 drives, Baltimore has begun at their own 15 or worse. Terry Allen straight ahead for a couple. Zach Thomas, Moreland Greenwood on the stop. A pickup of 3 makes it 2nd and 7.
That's pretty good to be able to get 3 yards in a situation like that. And what we talked about during the timeout, I know it's 7-3, but you can feel the tension and the excitement because you know it's a one-play game. Where's the one play going to happen?
The fans know it could easily happen down here. Allen. And Allen knifes his way out to the 10-yard line.
Gosh.
Once again, as you pointed out earlier, some of those crucial yards coming right up the middle.
Up the middle, and just look. I know it. You know it at home watching. Even Greg knows it. They're going to run the football up the middle, and they're still having a hard time stopping it when they do in a situation like this.
3rd and 1. Gerback going to throw it deep down the sideline for Taylor, and he's got it. Travis Taylor beat Patrick Surtain down the sideline, and suddenly things aren't so critical for Baltimore.
Well, they're not, and you just talk. What did they say? Look, only one person back. Now you have man-to-man coverage, and the Baltimore Ravens said, okay, you want to come up and stop the run. They take one of their shots down the field, and what a throw by Elvis Gerback. Soft to the outside, Patrick Surtain. Perfect timing, but he still cannot stop the perfect throw.
45 yards, and suddenly the Ravens are in Miami territory. Here's Terry Allen once again, and Allen inside the 45 to the 41.
Well, you know, Terry Allen, he's going to have to think over this retirement thing because he is looking fresh, and he is doing a terrific job today.
Well, the whole Terry Allen enterprise came about with the injury this year to running back Jamal Lewis. And Brian Billick has been under the gun because he had Priest Holmes last year, and all Priest Holmes did was go to Kansas City and lead the NFL in rushing.
Yeah, I heard that this week on pregame show. I didn't hear anybody say anything about it last year.
Taylor on the end around. 45, 30, 30, 25, and out of bounds. Zach Thomas ran him out of bounds, but it's another Ravens first down.
Now this is a good call. Look at it. Think about it. You're playing defense. They've been running up the middle. Watch the fake up the middle. Then they come back with reverse, and that's what happens when you can't stop the run. You start to gamble. You lose a little bit of what you're supposed to do for your assignment, and that creates big runs. And Zach Thomas hustling down the field. Good job by Sam Madison, Brock Marion, keeping the runner in bounds, and Zach Thomas finishes it out.
This is Jason Brookins, and Brookins just left of center and inside the 20-yard line.
Wow. Let's see. Think about this. Jonathan Ogden's your left tackle. Edwin Mulatalo is your left guard. Go ahead. I'm not good at math, Greg, but you figure it up. You keep these down.
That's about 340 and 340. It's about 680 pounds.
No, it's more. What did Jonathan Ogden say yesterday?
Oh, he's
705 pounds. Who weighed 3? Oh, Edwin Mulatalo's gained a little weight. He's 365.
Terry Allen. And this time, Allen runs into a wall of Dolphins led by Jermaine Haley. A pickup of 1, and it's 3rd and 1. And Terry Allen, who carried the mail last week on the ground, is doing it again for Baltimore today. And as we've said, he's been getting an awful lot of help up front from Edwin Mulatalo, Mike Flynn, and Benny Anderson.
A lot of tough runs inside.
Oh, Brookins right up the middle to the 10-yard line, and it'll be first down.
Sorry, I just can't help react a little because this is, I watch a lot of football games. I watch them all and on TV, and I can't remember seeing a team just line up and run up the middle on especially a pretty good defense, which the Miami Dolphins have, and be successful at it like this.
Miami defense finished the NFL season the 5th best in the league. This drive began at the Baltimore 1-yard line. Mo Williams. That'll lose yardage. Lorenzo Bromell, number 91. It'll be 2nd and goal with the loss of a yard on the play.
I was going to also say, Greg, inside running as tough as it's been. And the one thing, the Dolphins, they're getting some good hits once they finally get the runner, whoever it is, Terry Allen, and the Raven running backs. Usually when you run inside so much, sooner or later somebody can rip that football away from the running back. They've done a good job so far holding on to it.
Badejo is in the backfield now on 2nd and goal. Gerback to throw. Badejo inside the 5, just barely inside. Zach Thomas met him there, and it'll be 3rd and goal as we hit 2 minutes to play in the 3rd.
Well, when they put Badejo in this time, I knew it was going to be a throw to him. That's what they want to do. They put everybody to the outside. Here comes the fullback underneath. Zach Thomas does a good job of keeping his eyes towards the quarterback and the running back.
You know, Zach Thomas told us he was a little wary of those head-on hits with the injury to his neck. Nothing tentative about that hit, but there he is on the sideline. Williams and Badejo, and a timeout is called with 1:25 to play in the 3rd. Baltimore uses a timeout to talk about things here, and here comes Zach. You can see the look on Zach Thomas's face coming into the ball game. Big play here. Bilal for the end zone. Touchdown to Travis Taylor. The way this game has gone defensively is a huge touchdown for the Baltimore Ravens.
Patrick Surtain with the cast on one of his hands. Watch the throw by Elvis Gerback.
And Tony Siragusa leading the cheers on the sideline. Matt Stover has come on to add the extra point. Earlier in this game, Baltimore went 90 yards for a touchdown. This time they go 99. Stover's kick is perfect. Remember, back at their own 10-yard line, Gerback hit a 45-yarder to Travis Taylor on 3rd and 1, and then from 4 yards out, he hits Taylor again, this time here in the end zone. And the way this Ravens defense has performed here today, a 14-3 lead with 1:20 to play in the 3rd, is looking very good to Brian Billick.
Well, he says, my defense, the way they're playing, of course he likes the situation. But did you notice Travis Taylor made a really quick and wonderful decision at the line of scrimmage? Usually when you throw that kind of play, the receiver goes outside. Patrick Surtain was way outside. Travis Taylor went right up in there, and Gerback made the perfect throw.
If you're a historian, and if you believe in numbers, no team was better in the 4th quarter at scoring points this season than the Miami Dolphins. 142 of them led the NFL in the 4th quarter.
Well, that tells me they were behind a lot in the 4th quarter, too. So they had to kind of force the issue. But,
well, Miami had 5 4th quarter comebacks this season.
Yeah, you look at those scoring drives.
So number 32 is J.J. Johnson. He is deep along with Brock Marion. From the 13, it's Marion. Following Johnson around the right side, turns the corner and is out of bounds, and a fine return close to the 40-yard line. Wednesday on CBS, Muhammad Ali celebrates his 60th birthday. Join the biggest stars and host Will Smith for Ali's 60th birthday celebration. There'll be plenty of surprises. CBS Wednesday. Now just over a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter, Phil. Do you try to open things up if you're Miami? And if so, how much do you do that?
Oh, you absolutely, Greg. Now you have to change your game plan a little. I think you've got to find a way to throw a couple down the field, even if they're incomplete. You've got to make the defensive backs for the Ravens start to think a little.
Fiedler running out of time. Flips it, and that's complete to McKnight. And that's short of the 40-yard line. Pickup of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 9, and that's not quite the big gainer Dave Wanstead had in mind.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's better than what else could have happened. Sack of the quarterback, because, Greg, you got a great view. Nobody was open down the field. Miami, like some of their matchups, I think they thought we can run our receivers and we can get open against the Baltimore corners. They think they're not playing that well. But today, it's a big victory so far for the corners.
Fiedler this time with time throws, and that's complete across midfield and into Baltimore territory to Dedrick Ward, and that's a Miami first down. 13 yards on the play, and with that, we will close out play in the third quarter. And if the Dolphins ever needed a fourth quarter performance, it's here tonight at Pro Player Stadium. That's the end of the third quarter with the score: Baltimore 14, Miami 3. We'll come back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Start of the fourth quarter. First down for the Dolphins at the Baltimore 48. Fiedler to throw. He throws the slant, and that's complete inside the 30-yard line. And now incomplete. Dedrick Ward couldn't hold on. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Perfect throw by Jay Fiedler. Terrific route by Dedrick Ward. He gets himself in perfect position to make the throw, or to make the catch. Watch Jay Fiedler, looks down the middle, and then when he turns, throws it. There's nothing Chris McAllister can do about that.
Miami trailed by a touchdown a year ago. In last year's wild card game against the Colts, came back to win it. You saw Fiedler, 11 fourth quarter touchdown passes as tops in the NFL. Fiedler going to roll this way and throw, and incomplete. Dedrick Ward was the intended receiver. Chris McAllister batted it away. And let's go down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Greg, as Jay Fiedler tries to engineer a drive to save the season, remember he learned a lot of what he knows from Brian Billick, who was offensive coordinator in Minnesota. Jay was there in 1998. He said, the one thing I took from Billick, he told me to make sure that I took advantage of matchups, that if I got a guy one-on-one on the outside, that I would trust the receiver enough to put the ball up and let him come down with it. It may very well come down to that, Greg, if they're going to move on to the second round.
All right, Bonnie, thanks. You look at Fiedler's numbers on the night. 3rd and 10. Fiedler lost the football. Inside the 40-yard line. The Ravens say they have it, and they do. Peter Boulware shook it loose. Sam Adams came up with it.
Peter Boulware, Brian Billick says this guy's always wanted to be a defensive lineman. Because Michael McCrary gets hurt, that makes Peter Boulware go from linebacker to defensive line. 15 sacks this year, and there's another big play by him. There's Michael McCrary. Sorry, Greg. But boy, what a Peter Boulware. We said it a couple times today during the game. The difference in the team, especially the defense, is his pass rushing.
This is Mo Williams and Terry Allen, and Allen continues to plow his way inside the 30-yard line.
Let's take a look at it again. The Ravens keep the pocket. They make Jay Fiedler stand in there. He wants to move. There's nowhere to go. And when he tries to move, Peter Boulware is so fast, so quick, he knocks the football away from him before he can react.
And you know, when there's a loose football and Sam Adams goes for the ball, there's no contest.
You know, Ray Lewis said it best too. He said something I haven't forgotten. He goes, the Dolphins, they play in the AFC East. He goes, yeah, the Dolphin defense is pretty quick, but nobody else is. They don't know how fast we are, and it's going to hurt them when they try to execute on their offense.
Miami's second turnover. They've turned it over twice in their own territory, and there's a shot right off the left side again, and Terry Allen is just chalking up yardage.
Hey, Greg, where do you think they ran the football that time? It might not be right over the center, but it's really close. Jonathan Ogden. Oh, even Shannon Sharp. Nice block by him. They just got the defensive line moving so much they can't even stop to make the tackle.
Terry Allen up to 96 rushing yards. Baltimore 176.
Over 200 last week, 176 today.
Allen is wrestled down at the line of scrimmage as the Ravens try to put some points on the board and just hand this one over to their defense for the rest of the night.
Oh, absolutely. Elvis Gerback is like, if he snaps his football with any more than 2 or 3 seconds to go on the play clock, he's made a mistake. You know, you've got a defense like theirs is playing. You're up 14-3. Okay, and he's watching the clock before he even calls the play. Solid day by Gerback, too.
What did Ray Lewis tell us last night? They've gotten back to doing the things they're supposed to do. Pressure the quarterback and force fumbles. This is Ian Badeja. He fights his way past the line of scrimmage into the 17-yard line.
You know, the other thing, too, Ray Lewis told us, we brought up, I don't know if we brought it up or he did, about Elvis Gerback. And he said, you know, he was basically, to put it mildly, tired of hearing his teammates talk about it, try to put the blame on Elvis Gerback. He goes, he's not the one giving up the big pass plays. He's not fumbling the football. Yeah, he has thrown some interceptions, but they're not all his fault because he's been under such pressure a lot of times this year.
Boy, he's the ultimate warrior, too. He made the statement, if you can't get up for the game yourself, go find somebody else to play for. Don't blame the coaches. 3rd and 7. Mo Williams. And Williams wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by Jason Taylor.
Well, there's a name you haven't heard much today of, Jason Taylor, and it's because he's going against this guy, number 75, Jonathan Ogden, who is just, well, what did Randall Cunningham tell us down there in the field today? No, he's not he says he is the best lineman in the National Football League.
So Matt Stover will try to add 3 more. With the clock moving up on 11 minutes to play, this will be a 35-yarder. And it's good. 11:05 to play. Dave Wanstead running out of time. Back in Miami, where we fully expected a defensive battle, and it has been just that between two of the finest defenses in the NFL. But turnovers have been costly to the Dolphins. Baltimore has taken advantage, and with 11:05 to play, the Ravens are poised to advance next week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Almost 300 total yards for the Ravens here today to 112 for Miami. Danny Kite's kick. It'll be Brock Marion at the 1. 30. And down at about the 33-yard line. We remind you, coming up tonight on CBS, see your favorite stars of movies, TV, and music. Find out who'll take home the People's Choice Award. Kevin James hosts tonight on CBS. Phil, you mentioned during the break we had a conversation with Dave Wanstead downstairs before the game, and we were talking about what it might take to win this game, and I think we all arrived at about the number 17.
The first one to 17 was going to win. You know, Shannon Sharp on the sideline. Kip Vickers. I think it's safe to say they're talking about the run game.
This is Travis Minor. And Minor spins his way across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Rob Burnett and Ray Lewis making the stop. And what is shocking and yet is championship form of this Baltimore defense. The Miami Dolphins have managed just 5 first downs today.
You know, everybody booing because they ran it. Well, you saw what happened the last play before that one. Jay Fiedler dropped back, gets hit, and he fumbles. You've got to make the Baltimore defense at least think you might run the football every once in a while.
But not here. On 2nd and 6, the screen to Minor. Minor across the 40 to the 41, and he'll be about 2 or 3 yards short of a first down as we come up on 10 minutes to play in the 4th.
You know, that was just another good example of what Ray Lewis told us. That time, it looks like it's going to be a good screen, but Carnell Lake and the defense, they react so fast that the Miami players think they're going to make the block, and all of a sudden, the guy is by on the defender, they make the tackle. It's different from the defenses they have played against this year.
2. They lob it out here, and it's incomplete, and a penalty marker is thrown. Carnell Lake on James McKnight.
Well, listen.
I wonder if that ball could have been caught.
Well, it's not even that. It might have been, Greg, but Carnell Lake.
Pass interference. Defense, number 37. Automatic. First down.
Carnell Lake falls out of his shoe. That's what causes. They're trying to run a little pick play to the outside. See, they made Carnell Lake go around. Did you see his shoe come off? And that made him slip and fall and knock down James McKnight.
So it's a first down. The Dolphins at their own 46-yard line.
You know, it's hard to run after a guy as fast as James McKnight with one shoe. So
tough enough with two shoes.
Carnell Lake would have had excellent coverage. It would have been complete too.
And everybody started except for the center, Tim
False
Ruddy.
Start. Offense, number 9. 5 yards. Still first down.
This is the case of, and everybody's done it to play the position, the quarterback forgot the snap count. I used to hate to have to come to the line of scrimmage and have to tap my center and go, what's it on?
There must be better times to do that than in the playoffs.
Well, it's just going to happen because just think about it. Jay Fiedler's going, man, I haven't gotten anybody open today, and he's trying to watch a defense that might be blitzing this and that, and you know you're going to make that mistake every once in a while.
So it's now a 1st and 15 for Fiedler as he drops straight back and flips it out and incomplete, and there are penalty markers in the secondary. Pass intended for Weaver. And Dedrick Ward says it's going to go against the Ravens. Let's see if Mike Carey agrees. Against Miami. Nope, the other way. Well, it's against one of them.
That's a good guess.
There were 2 holding fouls, both on the defense. Number 21 and 55. Previous spot foul, 5 yards, automatic. First down.
So it's a first down from the 46-yard line. And Brian Billick still able to smile on the sideline. Still 9:18 to play here in the fourth quarter.
Greg, he's just smiling because they're up 17-3. Otherwise, he'd be trying to be inventive with his vocabulary.
That's incomplete. Dedrick Ward being covered by Dwayne Starks. The Miami sideline wants a penalty flag that isn't forthcoming. It'll be second down.
Yeah, it's close, but the coverage is just so good. They're just all over him. Dwayne Starks, you know, I said they want to go deep on him. They need to make a move somewhere and try to fake that route and go past him because these Raven corners, they're just daring him right now. Really showing no respect for a ball that's going to be thrown down the field. Now's the time to do it when they're off your receiver.
Pass to the far side, and that's complete. And this is James McKnight, and McKnight diving out of bounds, but has enough for a first down.
Probably nobody in the National Football League does it better than the Miami Dolphins when it comes to throwing screen plays or this type right here. Jay Fiedler makes the quick throw. Nice block down the field by Rondé Gadsden, and then make a few people miss, and you pick up a first down.
This is what the Miami Dolphins are facing. They need 2 touchdowns against the Baltimore defense that's allowed only 1 in almost 5 postseason games in 2 years.
And also, when you see those screen plays by the Dolphins, those are all direct result of the fact that, Greg, they just can't line up and run the football against anybody with real consistency, much less the Ravens defense.
It's a Miami team that doesn't have the services of rookie Chris Chambers out with a sprained ankle, Rondé Gadsden with a bothersome hamstring operating at much less than 100%. Fiedler gonna go deep, has McKnight. McKnight had it, and now it's intercepted by Dwayne Starks. Starks back to the 15. Still on his feet, across the 25, out to the 30. Jay Fiedler, Chan Gailey, they're just going to shake their heads at this one because Fiedler hits his receiver right where he has to, and he just didn't catch the football.
By Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time. And by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
.8:34 to play here in the fourth quarter. Miami's third turnover is not the fault of number 9, Jay Fiedler.
Now that was a nice series they had. They just didn't make the play.
Baltimore ball at their own 28-yard line. And Terry Allen doing his part to run some time off the clock. Let's go back to that pass.
Well, let's take a look at it. First off, Jay Fiedler watched the route at the bottom, but the key is watch Rod Woodson. The fake, Fiedler looks to his left, Woodson takes off. That allows James McKnight to go behind, wide open. And now look at the isolation. Watch number 80. Perfect throw. Hits him on the shoulder pad, and Dwayne Starks makes the catch. Oh.
And how about this Baltimore defense in the postseason this year and last have not allowed a touchdown pass and have picked off the opposition 11 times. That's Jason Brookins out across the 40 to the 42-yard line and a first down.
They were back in the game, though, Greg, if that ball was caught. You'd have to think they would take it in 17-10. Now the question is, can you stop Baltimore's running game? Again, lining up, and you talk about the heat and humidity and all that down here, but the offensive line of Baltimore, they have worn out the defensive line of the Miami Dolphins.
And you can say that play to McKnight, that interception, on the heels of the third quarter pass, Travis Taylor on 3rd and 1, a 45-yarder to get Baltimore out of trouble. They'll keep it on the ground with Brookins.
These guys easy.
And Brookins to the 46. Clock continues to move as we come up on 7 minutes to play.
You know, it's amazing. You look at this Baltimore Ravens defense, or sorry, their whole football team. We've talked about how their defense is getting a little better, doing the little things right, but the offensive line and the offense, how do you look for your running game basically the whole year? And then like, oh, we found it. We found it the last game of the season, and we now continue to do it once they go in the playoffs.
On 2nd and 6, Brookins breaking through up the middle, across the 40 to the 36-yard line of Miami.
Gosh, unbelievable. Jonathan Ogden, he was right. He said if we win, it's because it's going to be the center and the 2 guards. Watch the run up the middle. Sam Gash is leading it. Oh, defensive line just getting pushed out of the way. Benny Anderson, look at that. Got Zach Thomas completely sealed off. Mike Flynn with a good block up front. Kip Vickers. Sam Gash went through and couldn't even find anybody to hit.
So it's a first down. And the give is to Terry Allen. And Allen is dragged down at the 33. And, you know, you're talking about finding the running game. And let's go back to when we talked to these Ravens yesterday. And they said, you know, this is the postseason. And it's completely different. And Ray Lewis said, we didn't have the year that everybody else was expecting us to have. We had the year we needed to get us to this point.
Yeah, they made a few points. He goes, and sometimes it is true. It is hard to get excited if you're the champion about regular season games sometimes. So that part, I was like, okay, maybe there is something here. But I said, you know, 16 games, you've been pretty consistent. It's just been an average season at best for your whole football team. I didn't believe you could turn it around and be different, but today they proved that they can be.
Terry Allen wrapped up at about the 31. Now, this running game is going to be put to the test a week from now should they continue to maintain their lead over Miami, because Brian Billick has to take his crew into Pittsburgh, although Brian Billick made the point, you know, we know Pittsburgh. They're in our division.
Same division, so that gives them an edge. They're not a team that hasn't seen Pittsburgh, and they could be fooled maybe by some blitzes and just whatever they are physically. So that is an advantage, at least for Baltimore. They know what they're walking into. But, you know, you can be patient. You can run the football when your defense is playing good. and you don't turn the football over.
Gerback to throw on 3rd and 5. Sam Gash out of the backfield inside the 20 and a first down. 13-yard pickup.
Well, Sam Gash, you know, usually if you're a defender, you're bracing yourself when you see him coming because he's going to hit you. This time slips out, makes a nice catch, and you're Zach Thomas. You're thinking run all the way, and now you got to run out there and make a tackle on Sam Gash.
Zach Thomas, 180 tackles, 117 of them solo during the regular season. Missed the season ender. 21 tackles today on his way to his 3rd straight Pro Bowl. This is Brookins. And you know, as these Ravens move on in the postseason, that's a pretty impressive array of running backs that they're sporting now.
Well, yeah, it's impressive because the offensive line. You know what I do like, though, Greg? You can tell they've been talked to, and there's no secret. If you want to be a running back and you want a few chances right now with the Ravens, you better run it up in there hard. Because he got 3 of them. I think all 3 are willing to do just that. But, you know, you got to be able to adjust. Oh, my gosh, look at that. Up the middle, that is astounding.
You know, there are a lot of teams that would settle for 176 rushing on the day. The Ravens just have it up the middle and just add a few to it here.
And, you know, when I look at the Miami defense, I don't think the middle is the weak spot. Zach Thomas, Tim Bowens, Jermaine Haley, Ernest Grant, you know, he's some pretty good defensive players. So that tells you about just a straight-ahead blocking potential or ability of the Ravens offensive line.
2.5 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Oakland Raiders, winners last night at home against the Jets, will play New England Saturday night here on CBS. We'll be there for that one. These Baltimore Ravens advance to meet Pittsburgh. And Gerback goes down back at his own 23-yard line, courtesy of Scott Gallion.
Well, if we're going to New England next Saturday night, Greg, I'm going to have to buy you some long underwear.
Got some.
You got some? Well, I'll buy you some mittens.
Take them.
Keep you warm.
2 minutes to play at Pro Player Stadium. Miami, that timeout was called with 2:07 to play, so we still have the 2-minute warning still to come. And onto the field to attempt a field goal is Matt Stover.
So you see what I always say. Why use the timeout to save 7 seconds? Timeout can save you 20 on the other side.
Stover will get this one away from 40 yards out. It's on its way, and it's good. And with 2:01 to play in the 4th quarter, Tony Siragusa says, give me 5. 20-3, Baltimore.
Yes, is sponsored by IBM. E-business is the game. Play it to win. And by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
.201 to play in regulation. Reminder, stay tuned for 60 Minutes. Then the education of Max Bickford starring Richard Dreyfuss. And then your favorite stars are there. The People's Choice Awards hosted by Kevin James. That's tonight on CBS.
Kevin James. Well, is he okay? He's such a Jet fan. He's probably still in mourning over the loss.
This kick is going to be fielded at the 5 by Brock Marion. To the 20. And Brock Marion, who returned an interception 100 yards on the last play of the game last week, couldn't do it here. 23. NFL postseason action looks like next week. Phil, Armin, and I will be in New England. Prime time, the Oakland Raiders and the New England Patriots, Saturday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then on Sunday, Bonnie will join Dick Enberg and Dan Deerdorf in Pittsburgh as these Ravens take on the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday, 12:30 Eastern time here on CBS. Fiedler from the shotgun. Runs out of time and got rid of it, and it's incomplete at the 20. Intended for Travis Minor. And I think you can say the celebration on the Baltimore sideline has begun.
You know, I'm sure too, Greg, it's a big relief to the Baltimore Ravens to fight their way through the whole year to just try to get back in a position, like you said, to start the game. They had to win. On the last regular season game of the whole season just to qualify as, to get into the playoffs.
On 2nd and 10 over the middle, Dedrick Ward, and Ward across the 35 and out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Let's go down to Armin.
Greg, it's customary in the National Football League to award game balls after a game to those who have played the best in that game. Well, the Ravens have a unique little twist on that tradition that Brian Billick told us yesterday. He basically borrowed from Phil Jackson of the Los Angeles Lakers. He said after the game, the most valuable person that is awarded the ball then is asked to pass it along to the person most responsible for him winning that award. Last week, Terry Allen passed it along to Sam Gash, who was blocking for him when he ran for 133 yards. If Elvis wins it today, it'd be interesting to see who on the offensive line gets that award. Back to you.
All right, Armin. That pass complete to Dedrick Ward and out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Coaches are always trying to find ways to make their players feel better, to motivate them, or as I tell you, Greg, it's just another way to show them a little love. And, players are like you, we all were growing up. We want our mom and dad to show us a little appreciation sometimes, to say something good about us. And, those little techniques and those little give somebody a game ball and pass along, that does a lot for a team. It really gives them a little lift, and it's a good ploy by Brian Billick. I'm going to rub your head later and show you a little appreciate
that. Fiedler on 2nd and 6, tipped incomplete. Speaking of coaches, Dave Wanstead is about to lose his offensive coordinator, Chan Gailey, who has accepted the head coaching job at Georgia Tech. And we've known Chan over the years, and with his affiliation with several teams, and as a head coach in this league, he's one of the classy people, and we're going to miss him at the NFL level.
We are. We had a lot of fun with him on Friday. I told him, we're going to talk about him and all this, but I just got to tell the people at Georgia Tech, forget it. He's a tremendous person, and if your son's going there to play football, you can feel good that Chan Gailey's going to treat him right.
Fiedler on 3rd and 6. Out here, tipped a little bit behind his intended receiver, McKnight. There's Chan Gailey.
Yeah, I know. Tough situation for him to, loyal, stayed here, worked hard, and really hasn't been able to give much responsibility so far to the Georgia Tech University. But unfortunately for him, he will have the time now after this game. And I know we talked to him on Friday, Greg. He's looking forward to the challenge and seeing what he can do.
And those are big shoes for Dave Wanstead to fill next season.
Yeah, it is. That'll be the subject of much talk around Miami.
Fiedler from the shotgun on 4th and 6. Steps up, throws, and overthrows his intended receiver, Rondé Gadsden, over the middle. And the ball will go over to the Baltimore Ravens. And this reminder, tonight on 60 Minutes, what could be bad about America destroying plants that produce cocaine? Nothing, if that was the only thing we were destroying. 60 Minutes tonight.
You look at a game like this, and we talked about the Baltimore Ravens, what a tremendous job they've done. But also, I can't help when I see some of these pictures. You see the Miami Dolphins, the tough year, how they won so many close games. They get all that, and you come to a playoff game, and now you're sitting on the sideline and you go, oh my gosh, it started in July and it's over. And everybody will view it as a failure because you didn't advance in the playoffs.
Meanwhile, around the rest of the AFC, people have to say this Baltimore Ravens defense is back. In 5 playoff games in 2 seasons, the Baltimore defense has allowed 1 touchdown, an Eddie George touchdown run. Now, the Giants scored on a kickoff return in Super Bowl 35, but this is a defense that is still to be reckoned with in postseason play. Chris Redmond taking the snap. And that knee will put the cap on a Baltimore playoff victory here at Pro Player Stadium. The Ravens go to 11-6 after the 10-6 season. The Dolphins finish at 11-6. Brian Billick remains unbeaten in the postseason as a head coach. Ray Lewis and company will take their act to Pittsburgh And the next stop is Jerome Bettis, Cordell Stewart and company. Talk about a physical football game on tap.
Oh, will there be some hey, forget the hard hitting and the physical part of it, just the emotional part. We know they don't like each other. We saw the game a few weeks ago on Monday Night Football. This is going to be a nice follow-up to it.
Let's go down to Armin Katayan. Armin.
Elvis, two really career-defining drives here today for you and the Ravens. Your thoughts in the huddle when that pass to Travis Taylor was called?
Well, you know, we got one-on-one coverage on the outside. They went to the Bear defense where we thought they were going to do in third down situations. Travis made a great move at the line of scrimmage, got open, but you know, those things won't happen unless we were running the ball well. And we did that in our offensive line, played a hell of a game.
Speaking of playing a hell of a game, what did this game mean to you personally?
Well, you know, all the criticism and everything, it's a chance to go out there and just prove yourself. And that's where you make your mark as a quarterback in the playoffs. And we just got to continue now and go to Pittsburgh and, you know, play smart. And the way our defense is playing, you know, we played pretty damn well.
All right, Elvis, thank you. Greg?
All right, Armin, thank you. So the Baltimore Ravens advance. The Miami Dolphins say goodbye. Once again, our final score, Baltimore 20, Miami 3. Tonight on CBS starts with 60 Minutes, followed by The Education of Max Bickford, and then join your favorite stars for the People's Choice, hosted by Kevin James, tonight on CBS. For Phil Simms, Bonnie Bernstein, Armin Katayan, Greg Gumbel, so long from Miami. This is the NFL on CBS.
His name is Henry Clay Henry. He's a fireman and a Jarrett fan from Subway.